Latest tips and equipment to improve your game. The latest from the leaderboards and your favorite courses. This is Golf in the Northwest, an action-packed hour about everything golf. Now here's your host for Golf in the Northwest, Jason Swigard.
And a fine good morning to you all as we are coming down the stretch not only of the professional tour, well, the PGA Tour season. LPGA Tour season seems to go on forever. But, yeah, the Korn Ferry Tour and the PGA Tour season getting ready. Lots going on. The FedEx Cup playoffs start in 2 weeks. The Ryder Cup points will be set in the middle of August. And, of course, we here on The Fan are getting ready for football season. So 5 more shows to go here with you. We'll have a couple. We were scheduled originally, those of you that do pay close attention, and thank you for those of you that are out there and doing that. We were scheduled to be out at my home course, Forest Hills, but needed to reschedule. Marcus out there running into a little bit of crunch. Wanted to be able to be on the show, and so we're going to push that back to August 16th, and I wanted him to be there because he, as the general manager and the head superintendent, has done so much work there trying to bring that course back more resembling its original status. They are coming down near the 100-year anniversary. It was built in 1927, and they are getting close to the 100th centennial celebration, at least of the first 9, which is now played as the back 9. And so he's done so much work looking at the old renderings, and I wanted to make sure he was available to discuss everything that they've been doing out there. So that'll be August 16th. August 23rd, we are going to finish up. We'll be out at Portland Indoor Golf Club down there in Beaverton, and a newer facility. And they were they were out there on the 17th hole of the Fan Golf Classic, and you met Sebastian and his crew out there. So we're going to be out there, kind of have that be the final show, because as we get back into school, the weather starts to turn, it gets a little cooler, gets a little wetter, harder to get out on the courses, but they've got an outstanding facility, and so we'll go through and tell you about that, some of the programs that they have in the fall, try to keep your game sharp. And they do have some leagues, but they also have full instruction, or if you just want to go in and take advantage of that technology, that facility. So we'll be there to end things up. That's how we'll do it. Look who's here. It's Jeff Rust.
Hey.
What the hell are you doing here?
Good question. Yeah, I was the final option for today.
Well, bless you for coming in.
Yeah.
I have run this show all by myself, a one-man Al Franken unit before.
That can't be too much fun.
No, it's a little distracting.
Yes.
We can get through it where we need to, but very much appreciate you. It has been a week for us behind the scenes.
It has.
Buck, Jeff, and I can't thank you guys enough. There's no way I could have done everything that needed to be done.
I feel like we all kind of
all by myself. So we have been in the bunker together. As yes, our first show now on 105.1 The Fan FM, part of the Fan Sports Network. So hopefully you've got us dialed in. You have that now programmed. It's certainly been a boon to the sound quality, the listenability, you can sustain the signal, all of those wonderful things. So if you are on your way to your tea time this morning, the other piece of it, being on the FM signal, because last weekend I snuck out away for a little boys retreat while we were getting everything ready to go behind the scenes for it. And I was able to get the signal all the way up to Longview. I had to go. I guess there was a wreck on the I-5 bridge.
Isn't there always?
Well, this was Friday, like noon or something.
Right.
And so when I left from home out there in Hillsboro, Beaverton, it actually took me up 30.
Oh, okay.
To Rainier, to the Longview Bridge, and then met back up with I-5 as I was going north.
Wow.
Up to
so
Hood
it was
Canal.
A doozy then.
So, yeah. I was able to keep signal all the way up 30. It started to get a little scratchy out there, Rainier. So
yeah.
We're hoping for Ducks football season, you'll be able to take that signal all the way down into past Salem, Albany, see if we can get you all the way down there. So wherever you are heading to play around today, you know, you got us dialed in. So we have a lot to get to. We have a major going on. We just finished the final major for the PGA Tour. Scotty wins one this season. We'll get into Scotty and some of the – we'll hear from him, kind of the progression of leading up to the Open Championship and then post-winning it. He's still reluctant to put himself up with some of the most hallowed names in the game. But if he has another season or two like he's had the last few, it's going to be hard not to. We'll update you on the Ryder Cup. Again, August 17th is when the points freeze. The top 6 will be automatically in, and then it will be up to Captain Keegan Bradley to decide his 6 captain's picks. 3 or 4 of them seem like locks at this point. He indicated that Bryson DeChambeau will be on the team no matter what. He has no more ways to gain points because he's on the LIV Tour the rest of the way. But what he's done in the majors, he will get in. There's a spot there. He's one of the few guys that has overcome the LIV stigma, and he very desperately wants to be back on the PGA Tour. It'll be a matter of time. Somehow, some way, that's going to get figured out when the new commissioner comes in, takes over. It's just messy, and unfortunately, they can't figure it out fast enough for everybody else. 8:30, we're going to go down I-5, Eugene Country Club. The PGA head professional there is Bill Morach, and he has been a staple PGA professional in this region and the chapter for 2 decades, a former Horton Smith Award winner for his efforts in education, not only of golfers themselves, but of other PGA professional members, a true mentor, certainly somebody in the stead of our late host, Harold Bluestein, who also won a Horton Smith Award. So that's a big deal in the PGA community. And so we're going to talk to him. They just got done hosting the Pacific Coast Amateur, which is one of the top amateur tournaments in the United States here. They're getting ready for a big renovation, so I want to talk to him a little bit about that. We hear about that a lot these days. We're seeing some of the old, venerable courses from all over the country get renovations, trying to take them back to a status that resembles more when they were originally built. How you go about doing that, how modern technology can allow you to do that, what it really entails. So we'll talk about that. They're also very involved with Folds of Honor, so we'll talk to Bill at 8:30. And then we'll also get in a little bit about the LPGA Tour. Are we witnessing the next dominant player to come about? And their new commissioner very quickly needs to figure out their TV package because the PGA Tour still runs their media rights. They got to get out of that because it's stupid what's going on here this weekend with a big tournament over in Scotland. We'll rant a little bit about that as well. But as always, we start by going inside the ropes.
It's time for an insider's look at the leaderboards, the latest on all tours, plus local golf events and the latest news. This is Inside the Ropes, part of Golf in the Northwest.
4 tours in action we are keeping an eye on this week. We'll start with the Korn Ferry Tour. This is event 19 of 26. It is the NV5 Invitational, the Glen Club in Glenview, Illinois. Par 71, 7,236 yards. 3-way tie for the lead going into play, and they all have made birdies here early on. The leaders have just teed off, but you had Johnny Kiefer, Jeffrey King, and Cooper Dossie. Now, Kiefer's the one to keep an eye on, as he's a rookie on the Korn Ferry Tour. He was number 1 on the Americas Tour last year, so that's the feeder tour. They play in Latin America and Canada. He came in after finishing number 1 on the points list last year. He's already got a win this year in 15 starts. A former Baylor University player, had a couple of collegiate victories, and so he is well on his way. He is number 2 in the points list. A win here, he will secure his card, one of the 20 that will be moving on up to the PGA Tour. Of course, Alistair Doherty in the field did make the cut on the number, an early bogey. He is 6 under par right now. Needs to see if he can get on a birdie run, try to improve him. He had a hot start to the season. He's fallen off a little bit. He's 50th on the points list. And as we mentioned, only the top 20 will get their PGA Tour cards. Now, he will be able to get into the playoffs, so maybe he can make up a little ground there, possibly get some conditional status as he continues his quest. But the leaders are at 15 under par, but it is a very tight leaderboard there. You have 19 players within 2 shots of the lead. This is going to be a shootout. Could be a lot of fun. It is a major on the Champions Tour this week. They are playing Sunningdale Golf Club in Berkshire, England, the 2025 ISPS Handa Senior Open. Padraig Harrington had the lead after 2 rounds at 8 under par, looking for a 3rd career Champions major and his 11th win at just 53 years old. So maybe Padraig Harrington, who can still swing it pretty good, maybe he's the guy that starts to challenge Bernhard Langer's records. Justin Leonard has caught him atop the leaderboard this morning. They are both now at 9 under par. Thomas Bjorn, Clark Dennis at 8 under. Dennis is already in the clubhouse, 6 under, 64 today. So good rounds available to be shot out there in England. All right, the LPGA Tour stays over there. They had the Evian, the 4th major, a couple of weeks ago. They got a week off, and now they are at the ISPS Handa Women's Scottish Open. They're playing Dundonald Links in Ayrshire, Scotland. And Lottie Wood, that name sounds familiar. She had been the #1 ranked amateur player in the world. She won the 2024 Augusta Women's Amateur National Amateur. And after the Evian, which is when her sponsors' exemptions, basically, or all the exemptions from being the #1 ranked amateur player, ran out, she turned pro. This is her first event as a pro, and she is atop the leaderboard, 16 under par. She's 4 under today with 3 holes to go. 2-shot lead over H.J. Kim and Se-Young Kim. Nana Kurtz Madsen, who started round 3, tied with, or 2 back at 10 under. Is there at 14 under par. Then you go back to Nelly Korda at 11 under. But Lottie Wood, all of the accolades, all of the dominance she had. Now, she played collegiate golf in the United States at Florida State and won a ton of stuff there, both in the conference and nationally. But from England is coming out gangbusters, and it would be amazing in her first professional event to get that win going into next week's final major of the season, as they will play Royal Porthcawl in Wales. Boy, if she pulls that off, are we looking at somebody that could be Lorena Ochoa, Annika Sorenstam sorts that just take this tour by storm and be consistent, because her amateur, her amateur record is untouched by many. It is up there with the all-time greats. So we'll keep an eye on that. But you won't be able to see this live. The stream is ended on NBC Sports. Well, I think it's still going on. They will show an encore presentation on the Golf Channel beginning at 4 o'clock this afternoon. This is getting bumped by the Champions Tour and the Senior Tour Major. That's a problem. If Golf Channel and NBC Sports won't find a spot for it live, they need to let them go get somewhere so they can get on live. This is ridiculous, and it needs to end. We'll talk more about that later. PGA Tour is in Blaine, Minnesota, TPC Twin Cities for the 3M Open. Just 2 more events before the FedEx Cup playoffs start. And this year, they cut down the list. It used to be like the top 125. Then it was the top 100. Now it's only the top 70 that will make the playoffs. So everybody is scrambling quite a bit to try to get in there. Thorbjorn Olesen is your leader after 2 rounds at 14 under. The Danish player still looking for his first PGA Tour victory. Longtime player, though. He's been in Ryder Cups, 8 wins on the DP World Tour, but still looking for that first victory. He's at 14 under par. He'll tee off about 10:40 this morning in the last group. He'll be with Jake Knapp, who's one shot back at 13 under. But they have been blowing up the TPC Twin Cities there. The conditions have been ideal, not a lot of wind. There was a little rain coming into the week, so the course is pretty soft and accepting, and they have been going after pins. Kurt Kitayama this morning is 7 under through 9. He has already gotten to within a shot of the lead at 13 under, and he is just making the turn. Michael Lasasso, who is the top collegiate player, he's 7 under through 17. He's got it to 12 under. And so guys are going low today. Sam Stevens, who had the opening round 62, your first round leader, he's at 12 under par. And this is a lot of guys in contention trying to get into that top 70. The other thing going on, guys are trying to get Ryder Cup points. Chris Gotterup, who won the Scottish Open, was in the final groups of the Open Championship. He's now 23rd on the points list. He's trying to play his way to possibly being a captain's pick when the Ryder Cup selections are made in about 4 weeks. And so another big finish here for him would put him in good stead there. Wyndham Clark, one of the highest-ranked players in the field, he's 10 under as well. They'll tee off at 10 a.m. So even though some of the biggest names are not in the field this week, there's a lot of interesting names in there, a lot of quality golf. You're going to see guys grip it and rip it in a birdie fest. And as long as this, it's time for one of those. So when the pressure's on, you got to make shots. You have to stick it close to the pin. You got to make some putts. This will be some good pressure for guys going into the FedEx Cup playoffs and potentially guys who will be on the Ryder Cup. So that's what's going on inside the ropes. We'll come back. We'll look back at Scotty Scheffler's Open Championship, where he pretty much was on cruise control there at the Open. Down the stretch, not really threatened. He had the double bogey on 8, came back with a birdie on 9, and that was it. It was a nice stroll on the back 9 to win his 4th major, and now he is starting to be on a lot of short lists with names like Tiger Woods, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus. He is a little gun-shy to himself, put himself in that category. That's his nature, but it's hard not to say a couple more seasons like the last 3 or 4 that he's had, and it's hard not to make those comparisons. We'll break down some of the numbers for you. We'll hear his comments as well about what golf means to him and where he sees himself and where golf fits into his life. Pretty interesting, introspective guy as we get going here. It is Golf in the Northwest on 105.1 The Fan. Jason Swigard back here with you on this edition of Golf in the Northwest. And as part of the new lineup changes, it is Sports Saturday now, following us on Saturday mornings with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. So they will be making their debut here following us from 9 to 11 a.m. Coming up at 8:30, Bill Morak, who is the head PGA professional down at Eugene Country Club, going to stop by. They just got done hosting the Pacific Coast Amateur this week. They're getting ready for a big renovation. So we'll get into those things. And one of the oldest courses in country clubs in the state of Oregon. We'll talk, too, about kind of maintaining how do you keep, clubs like that and golf memberships current and fresh and modernize them without losing the sense of tradition and history. There's a lot of that going on in the world of golf these days. So curious how he has, kind of curated balancing those things over the years. But want to look back now, an Open Championship to remember for Scotty Scheffler, who ran away with it. It is his fourth major of his career. And won by multiple shots again. He won two of them, won multiple majors by 4+ shots in the single year. So Scheffler with the PGA and the Open Championship. Only Tiger Woods and Ben Hogan did it. Tiger in 2000 with the U.S. Open and the Open Championship. Ben Hogan did it in 3 of them, the Masters, the U.S. Open, and the Open in 1953. There's a lot of these, but we'll kind of most seasons with 4 wins, including a major before turning 30. Jack Nicklaus did it 3 times. Scotty Scheffler has now done it 3 times. Tiger did it 6 times. And then you compare fewest starts needed to reach 4 major victories in the last 50 years. Tiger needed 21 starts. Brooks Koepka needed 22. And then Scheffler is tied with Rory McIlroy at 25. And in their first 25 career major starts, when you compare Scotty with Tiger, Tiger won 6 of them. Scotty only 4. They both had 9 top 5s. Scheffler actually 16 top 10s compared to Tiger's 12. Scotty missed 3 cuts. Tiger missed 2. So you're starting to see it just took Scotty a little bit longer than Tiger and Rory to figure it out as a professional. And that's the biggest thing. Scotty's first 70 starts didn't have a win at all. His top 10 percentage was only 24%, but in his last 76 starts, he's had 17 wins, 4 majors, and a top 10 percentage of 72%. And whatever clicked for him, some guys get it right away, other guys it takes them a little longer, but he is just in a mode where he can dial it up. He's got that little power fade he can go to. Don't look at the footwork. And this is the thing now, I think, with instruction. We'll talk a little bit to Bill Morak about this. There was a time there in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s where it was all about trying to model this very athletic, powerful swing and trying to make guys fit it. But as you see, being able, I think the instruction, we'll talk to him about that education over the years. The instruction now is, okay, how do we look at an individual person's own body mechanics, their own, what is comfortable and natural to them? Because the trick is, can you have a repeatable swing that puts the golf club in the positions that it needs to at the top of the backswing, in the takeaway, at impact and follow through? So can you hit all those positions consistently, get the club face square at impact? And then once you do that, okay, how do we then learn how to develop more control, more power, whatever it is that you want to do? And so he's done it, because certainly nobody, I think, would teach a young player to start moving their feet all around like Scotty. But when he's on these lists, and he's one of 3 players now that need 1 more major to complete the career Grand Slam. Phil Mickelson still needs the U.S. Open. Don't see that ever happening. Jordan Spieth still needs a PGA championship. That is very much a possibility if Jordan can ever get things back to where it was 10 years ago in 2015. but it seems a foregone conclusion that Scotty, at some point here in the next 4 or 5 years, barring a major injury of some sort, will get a U.S. Open. And the question is, how much can he keep this up? The 4 wins with the major, it seems like when he gets it dialed in and he gets a schedule set, he is just of a nature where he can dial it up. And what he does, and the most interesting thing, if you start, and I said this on Dirt and Sprague earlier in the week, I think in it appears his strategies in setting up course management, he kind of reverse engineers things. Where are the holes that are going to trip everybody up? Where is the danger? Where could the calamity? And it was Calamity Corner on the 16th, the par 3 up there. He had 3 birdies and a par. And that is where other guys are giving up shots. And you look at him in strokes gained. He's number 1 in strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained on the approach. I think strokes gained around the green. It's his putting that is, and it's not bad. It's top 20, top 25, but that's not the one that he dominates. And that determines if he runs away from a field. If he's I think he missed 2 putts inside of 10 feet all week at the Open. When he does that, and he is maybe the best ball striker out there on tour, he has the ability to run away from people, and it is the precision that he does, a surgical-like approach to a golf course, more in the vein of Jack Nicklaus than when Tiger simply overpowered everybody and was winning by 10 and 15 strokes because the par 5s were simply par 4s for him. Scotty doesn't hit it. He hits it far enough. He'll average 300 yards. That's no big deal. But he's not bombing it out there the way Wyndham Clark and Chris Gotterup and Bryson DeChambeau. Scotty hits it far enough. He's certainly the top third. But it's not all there is to his game like a Brooks Koepka where he's trying to get it out there like Rory 350. He has it when he needs it. But his iron play, his proximity to the hole, I believe, is top 5, maybe number 1. And he just carves it out so he doesn't make the big numbers and have the big mistakes where everybody else is. He can play the par 5s. He can score there as well. So you do those 2 things. You eliminate the danger holes and at least make pars, if not make birdies. You can get 3 under on par 5s in a round. And he's got a 3 or 4 shot lead on the field before he starts. That's what Tiger did. It's scoreboard pressure. It puts the pressure on everybody else. I see him being able to repeat that, certainly as he gets more comfortable with courses, playing them. He'll be able to dial in the schedule that he wants to play. All of those things, I see no reason why Scotty can't have 3, 4, 5 more years like he's having now. He has 3, 4, 5 wins during the season. He gets a major. And by the time he's 35, we are looking at him now already locking up World Golf Hall of Fame points. His resume is right there, and he is going after the all-time greats. And I don't think his personality is such that it's going to change him because golf to him is something that he does. It is not defining him. I had some audio. We'll maybe play it a little bit later, but I want to get down to Eugene. Let's take a break. We'll make the turn here. Bill Morak, the PGA head professional down at Eugene Country Club, going to join us next as we continue Golf in the Northwest on 105.1 The Fan. Jason Swigard back here with you. Golf in the Northwest. Sports Saturday with Joe and Rashad coming up following us. But right now, very pleased to have on the line from Eugene Country Club, the PGA head professional, Bill Morak, a former Horton Smith Award winner for his education within the chapter, and that is one of the more prestigious awards that the Oregon chapter heads out. He has headed the section and Oregon chapter education committees and providing opportunities for over 250 members and associates, a PGA member since 2004. Good morning, Bill. How are conditions?
Good morning.
How are conditions down there in Eugene?
Boy, everything's great down here. How you doing?
We are great. We are great. You guys just got done hosting the Pacific Coast Amateur, one of the more prestigious amateur tournaments across the country. And how did it go? I mean, full 4 rounds. This is a big deal, and some of these names we're going to see in the U.S. amateur field coming up a little bit later this summer. But how? And I'm always curious. In the amateur now, you have such junior golf has elevated over the years. These kids heading to college. You have collegiate players. The quality of play at the youth is so good, but you also have some veteran golfers who have maintained amateur status. It's always an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, it was a great event. It always is. This was the third time in the years that I've been here that we've hosted the event. And if you look down the list of winners, most of the time it's somebody that's spent some time on tour, when you look back in time. So both Michael and Andrew Putnam from Tacoma won in 2004 and 2010 respectively, and then Aaron Wise was a Oregon Duck golfer, won in 2015, and spent some time on tour winner. So it's fun to watch what I'll call kids, but it's fun to watch these college guys as they're really making their strides and working their way towards the professional ranks. And I can tell you, it's amazing to watch up close how far these guys hit it, how straight they hit it, how well they putt. Our greens were rolling fast, and they had the pins tucked, and we did everything we could, but there was still some guys that could take it under par. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, 6 under par was the winning score at the event here. And so how important is it? And it's always interesting for the membership and for the staff there, how much prestige, how important is it to be able to host these events?
Well, that's a great question, and I think it's a source of pride for our club that we host one of these bigger, prestigious amateur events every, call it 6 to 12 years, and we've had a number of USGA championships over the years, and this was our 9th Pacific Coast Amateur. We give back to the game of golf, and this is one of the ways that we're able to do it. And it's a lot of fun. It's fun to see the membership get excited and have them talk later about, did you see that shot on 7 or whatever it might be. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and you're close down there. Both the programs at the University of Oregon, the men's and the women's, really starting to feed players into the professional ranks. And I know the women came up just short again. They're trying to win that national championship. How much do you see them? I know they play on different courses down there in the area, but I have got to imagine they will want to get out there playing on your course whenever they can.
Yeah, we see them 2 to 3 days a week during the season, and just like I was saying, it's so fun to watch these young guys and young women play. The girls' team, the women's team, is just amazing. They are so close to getting it done, and Coach Derek has such fun energy. If I had a daughter, I would absolutely want her to come and play for Coach Derek and the University of Oregon, and Coach Casey, is much better known, and he's an amazing guy and great enthusiasm and love for the game of golf. I don't know if I know anybody that loves the game more than he does. And So it's just it's a fun energy. They've got the right things going on. They've got great support from the local community, and you know, the Jake, named after Peter Jacobson, which is just a state-of-the-art training facility that they have down at Emerald Valley, combined with our club. Yeah, you know, they've got a great setup for attracting quality college golfers, amateur golfers.
Bill Morak, our guest here, the PGA head professional at Eugene Country Club, and you talked about that sort of development, education in the game of golf has always been something that's important to you, as it was to our late former co-host here, Harold Bluestein. And I know how much he wanted not only to give proper instruction to youth golfers, but as well as to continually develop the PGA professional members so that they can give good instruction, proper instruction, and stay up with the development of the game. And what have you done there? With your staff? You hold all 6 different PGA certifications. I don't know how many PGA professionals have gone through the process. It's a lengthy process and certainly takes some dedication.
Yeah, thank you. You know, education's always been very important to me. You know, started out, you know, at the home from my parents, and you know, education in all parts of life just opens up amazing doors. And I try to stress that to my assistant pros or to young professionals as they're coming up, is that, you know, the more you know, the better professional you're going to be, and you truly become a professional and not just a golf enthusiast at that point. So, yeah, and I think that we're only as good as our weakest link. So when you want to have the PGA professional brand be represented properly, and have these people go out and give great information and grow the game and be enthusiastic and just have a love for the game of golf. And I know Harold, you know, felt the same way and made a lot of efforts, and with your radio show and other aspects, just to grow the game. So yes, it's a passion project, if you will. I just love to be a part of the game of golf.
Well, and one of the other passion projects too, you guys do a huge fundraiser for Folds of Honor that you've done, and that organization raising money for scholarships for family members of injured and lost soldiers. And that's a way, you know, obviously being a country club, unless you know a member or guest down there, difficult to get on. But is this one of those events that is it just members, or is it open to the public? When's the next one coming up?
Yeah, so I grew up in a military family. My father retired from the Navy after 22 years. So when I learned about the Folds of Honor and the great work that they do, and if anybody is interested to just do a quick Google search of that one, but you can find out so much about it. But it raises money for the families of fallen and wounded soldiers. And we started out very simply, and the organization started out very simply about just leave your change when you pay for your round of golf at a public facility. So maybe you're leaving $2 or $3 or whatever. And it started very small, and now it's into the multi-million dollars and funding thousands of scholarships every year. And so I went to one of our members who's a retired colonel, and I said, we really need to do more than just ask for, a small donation or change. So the event grew, and now it's something that our members look forward to. We normally have a recipient of the scholarship come out, and, the stories, although great, will just tug on your heartstrings about, some of the challenges that these military families go through, and what the rest of the 99% of the country should do, or what I believe we owe to the 1% that give everything. No
question.
It's a great organization, and we've raised a little over $700,000 in the last dozen years, and we'll have another event here in early September, and always something that I look forward to.
Well, and that event might be one of the last ones there, because the course is getting ready to undergo a renovation. And I'm curious, with these courses, it's one of the older courses in the state of Oregon. And so when you decide and the memberships decide you really need to renovate it, is it out of competition? Or is it something else maybe? And we see a lot of these courses now trying to go back to that are 75, 80, 100 years old, trying to get back to what they were originally. What's the process like going through to decide to do it, and what are you hoping to accomplish with the renovation?
Yeah, great question. I think that your highest quality clubs around the country are always tweaking things just a little bit. They're trying to stay modern and up to date, but yet when you have a classic club like ours, you have to be very careful in how you do it. We have what we call architects of record, and they are the ones that guide us. The club members vote on it if there's any sort of updating that needs to be done. So we did a bunker renovation that started about, I'm going to call it 3 years back. It might have been just a little bit more than that. And we got through about 16 of the holes, and we have just a couple more things to adjust. And rave reviews from the guys that played the last few days, as far as the placement of bunkers being more strategic, whereas the other the previous golf course, which is a Robert Trent Jones design, it was a great design, but oftentimes the bunkers just kind of caught bad shots, whereas the bunkering now is something that is more strategic. So, for example, the first hole, there's a fairway bunker that sticks out reasonably far out on the right-hand side, and so it's asking the player to hit a draw off the tee, or the best angle of approach is to be as close to that fairway bunker as you can. So it's very strategic. The guys are, they hit it so far, but they were either hitting a driving iron off the tee to lay up short of it, or they were, blasting a driver over it. But it was a 285-yard carry with wind coming at them. So it's an interesting process to try to keep the golf course relevant and modern for all, but keep the enjoyability factor for the membership.
Chatting here with Bill Morak, PGA head professional down at Eugene Country Club. And you have been there for quite some time, but you went getting into golf, PGA member since 2004, so 20 plus years as a PGA professional. What was it about golf at the time? Studies, a graduate of Central Washington, but what was it that drew you to wanting to? It's always interesting what pulls guys to go from loving golf, playing golf, being accomplished on the course, to wanting to get into the PGA professional side of it.
Well, I have a path that's probably not, something that a lot of guys do. I was a swimmer in college, and it was one of my college swimming teammates that got me into it. And he said, you don't have to turn around every 25 yards and go back the other direction unless you're really bad at it. So, so that's how it started. But I was one of those guys that I was good at every sport I tried. I wasn't great, but I was, great, pretty good hand-eye coordination, can do a lot of sports, and golf was just so maddening. It was a struggle. And so I thought it was either going to go one way or the other. I was either going to figure it out, or I was never going to touch a club again. And I dabbled for a few years, and then I was working on a master's in exercise physiology, kinesiology, biomechanics, so I'm studying the human body, becoming addicted to golf. I was teaching a few classes at the university, just, physical education classes and so on. So it all kind of weaved together to become, where I was wanting to be around the game of golf. I was getting better. I was understanding it. I was getting better quickly, and I was teaching. So it kind of just started out as, this is something that's fun and it's something that I want to do, and then later progressed into, running a golf operation. And I've been fortunate to be here now for a little over 19 years and a little over 15 years as the head professional.
Well, you've got the renovation coming up for people that are interested in finding more about the country club. Obviously, I know it's one of the strongest memberships, one of the oldest country clubs in the state of Oregon, I think just behind Waverly. Yeah. But or maybe there's opportunities to play an event if they're not members, what's the best way to get in touch down there with the country club?
Well, they're always welcome to reach out and call the club and ask for me, and I would be happy to guide people. But we do have a couple of fundraiser tournaments, which is, as you mentioned, just a great way to get out and play the golf course. So the Boy Scouts have an annual fundraiser tournament on Monday, September 29th, and I could direct somebody how to get a hold of that organization. And then the Oregon Community Credit Union has an event in mid-October, and same thing. It's an opportunity to play the club and come down and see what we're doing. And if you haven't had a chance, it is, I am biased, but it is an amazing golf course and setting.
No question. EugeneCountryClub.com is where you can log on and get all the information and send an email or get the phone number there. Bill Morak, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us here. Congratulations on the Pacific Coast Amateur, and we hope the renovation goes well.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
There you go. Thanks so much. Bill Morak, the PGA head professional at Eugene Country Club, one of the golfing gems truly here in the Willamette Valley in the state of Oregon. And, so many people who have had a chance to play down there in a tournament or a fundraiser, one of those sorts of things, rave about it down there. We will come back. Some final thoughts. So we'll let you hear from Scotty Scheffler. And get you into your golfing weekend. Again, we've got a major on the Champions Tour that's wrapping up. The women are still across the pond for the Scottish Open, and we'll set up things here as the PGA Tour just 2 weeks to go before they set the field for the playoffs. It is Golf in the Northwest on 105.1 The Fan.
Wesley Planet.
Swigard back here wrapping things up on another edition of Golf in the Northwest. Thanks again to Bill Morak from Eugene Country Club. And so it's truly one of the historic golf courses here in the state of Oregon. If you have a chance to get down there for an event, highly, highly recommend it. We were talking a little bit about Scotty Scheffler, his win at the Open Championship, the history that he continues to make. Very, very short lists of accomplishments with the names like Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods and Ben Hogan. And so he was asked about that in his winner's press conference after there with the Claret Jug, and he's still hesitant to put himself in that rarefied air, especially when it comes to Tiger Woods.
I still think they're a bit silly. You know, Tiger won 15 majors. It's my fourth. Just got 1/4 of the way there. So I think Tiger stands alone in the game of golf. You know, he was inspirational for me growing up, and he was a very, very talented guy, and he was a special person to be able to be as good as he was at the game of golf. And I don't focus on that kind of stuff. That's not what motivates me. I'm not motivated by winning championships, and I don't look at the beginning of the year and just say, hey, I want to win X amount of tournaments. I want to win, you know, whatever it is. I don't do that. I have dreams and aspirations that I think about, but at the end of the day, you know, when I wake up and to practice, you know, I feel like what motivates me is just getting out and, you know, getting to live out my dream. I get to play professional golf, and I feel like I'm called to do it to the best of my ability. And so when I wake up in the morning, I try and put max effort in each day. I get to go out and practice, and when I'm working out, when I'm doing the cold tub and doing recovery, like I feel like I'm just called to do it to the best of my ability. And outside of that, I don't place much emphasis on winning tournaments. I don't place much emphasis on things that I can accomplish. It's just mostly about putting in the proper work and coming out here and competing.
And we hear this all the time in any sport. It's about the process. We hear it from coaches. Trust the process. It's in, you know, Belichick and Saban. It's what you do every day in practice. And when you know, can perfect it there or hone it in, then when the challenge presents itself in the actual tournaments or the games, you're prepared for it. And it isn't that big of a deal, and which is, you know, what I think Scottie Scheffler is getting to in that regard is he plays the game for the game itself. He plays it better than anybody right now today. He's the most consistent, and he's able. His level of precision is better than everybody else. And I think with that mentality, just how he has, you know, he's set his personal life. It's about family and it's about golf, and is very content in that he's not searching for anything that's missing, even though he had some comments that, you know, earlier in the week that, you know, golf isn't the end all be all for him, that it's great. He relishes it. He loves winning tournaments when they happen. He gets to celebrate it, but it is what it is. He doesn't make it out to be more. Now, some people took that the wrong way and said he didn't appreciate it. I think he does that in his own way. The personal sense of accomplishment for him, I think, is the satisfaction. The outward celebration or emoting or whatever it is, it's just not his personality. But I think he will continue. And I wonder if he continues to have this level of success, consistent success, where he's winning 4, 5, 6 tournaments and a major or two over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. If the history of the game, I do think he appreciates the history of the game, will start to then, he's like, oh, maybe I can do these things. And he will open up and accept that. Still a long way to go, but, you know, the last 4 or 5 years certainly seems sustainable for him. Maybe not to the extent of 2024, where it seemed like he won everything. But this season, with 4 wins and a major, he's probably, you know, you would expect him, he's the heavy favorite in any tournament he's in. You would expect him to win one of the FedEx Cup playoff events. And if he does that, could he win another Tour Championship and a FedEx Cup? Well, more on the LPGA next week because they have a major. The fact that their tournament is not on live on a cable network or an over the network is hideous to me. God bless the Champions Tour, but there needs to be, the LPGA needs its own space. And if it can't happen with the PGA Tour running its media rights, then one of the first things the new commissioner has to do is get that out of there and let the LPGA find their own space and be accessible so you can trip over it for their live tournaments, especially one as big as this. That'll do it for us. Thanks to Jeff Russ for coming in on a Saturday. We really appreciate it. Thanks to Bill Morak down at Eugene Country Club for joining us. Sports Saturday is up next. Until then, I'm Jason. Hit 'em straight.
One of the best things about living in the North
Good morning. Welcome into Sports Saturday right here on 1080. Wait, no, 105.1, the Van
already.
Global Sports Network.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time.
Smooth.
Yeah, right? That's a great way to start.
I'm confused. I'm flustered. I don't know what to do here. My headset cord is all jumbled up. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah, today's starting weird. Like, for whatever reason, the charger that's worked literally every single week all of a sudden doesn't charge my phone. Trying to figure out what that's all about. But, hey, man, it's Saturday.
Yeah, it is Saturday. For those of you who do not know us because you have not listened to our show Sports Sunday, and boy, we really had to work hard on the name of this show.
Man, they really workshopped that, didn't they?
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of focus groups, P1s of the fan coming for meetings, countless meetings. We were behind the scenes working on it, and yeah, of all the things that we had on the table, we came up with Sports Saturday.
I mean, it has a ring to it. I mean, it's two S's, I
We're
suppose.
Hey, it's a show on Saturday, and it's about sports. What do we call this thing?
I mean, hey, yeah. I mean, I guess it works. You know, I mean, great job, Ups.
Well, I am Joe Fisher. Across the faux marble table is Rashad Taylor.
Taurus.
And across the glass with us actually today is not Jordan Schultz. Jordan Schultz is usually our everyday producer. but he is out doing anniversary things with his wife.
That is right. He had some responsibilities today.
So today we have Jeff effing Rust with us. What is up, dude?
The one and only.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. Probably better than you. You have had quite the week.
Well, I'm not the only one. Many of us around here have had quite the
But
week.
Russ,
Yes, we've all been kind of burning the candle at both
But
ends.
you're the real MVP, Russ. Like, you've really been all over the place.
I came into that studio yesterday to get the show open and the elements in there, and I could tell Rust was just done with this week. He was at his wit's end.
Yeah, pretty
he
much.
Was,
Yeah.
he was going through it.
Yesterday afternoon at about 3:30 after I finished all the podcasting and stuff, that was a nice big exhale.
Yes. And inhale of the doob at home probably
Yeah,
afterwards.
more than likely, man. And well deserved.
Yeah.
In that right.
Yeah, no, but we're Sports Saturday. Again, if you have not heard of our names or heard our voices before, Rashad and I, we've been over on Sunday. Rashad longer than me. Rashad for 10 years.
11.
hosting Sports Sunday. 11 years.
Yeah.
Don't sell him short.
Yeah, don't do that. Give me all my flowers, bro.
I jumped on Sundays back in 2020 as a producer. And then once Mike Lynch went on to do Bigger and Better Things, jumped over onto the host side of things. So we had been rocking on Sundays for the last couple of years. And then with this move and everything over to FM and the lineup change and a bunch of other decisions behind the scenes, we're like, hey, let's throw the guys on Saturday morning. And so here we are, Sports Saturday going forward. Rashad and I got you covered. Leading into Ducks games in the fall, once we get to that point in the season.
Always a good time.
Yes, dude. I'm getting so excited for football. It's this it's one of those where it's like, yes, it can start tomorrow, and we want but it's the also like the slow burn of like we still have 6 weeks, and slowly starting to pay attention to like teams and rosters and who's where, who transferred to what school, what free agent went where. Dude, it's like every day I'm reading something new and looking something up, and I'm just like, oh my God,
Well,
please.
we're right there. Like, I mean, it's literally right around the corner. We're talking the Hall of Fame game is it in a couple days?
Yes, I believe it's on the 31st.
Yeah, 31st. So the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame game is like Thursday or something like that. So we are right in the midst of football starting and really preseason starting, which I understand none of us are crazy about preseason, but it is a sign to let us know that here we go. Things are gearing up. We can really start talking football. Fantasy leagues are starting to be had and held and everything like that. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's a small signal that the football season, the holidays are about to begin.
You just reminded me that I have to set up my fantasy draft big board because I will be going out of town the weekend of my draft and will have no service. So I literally feel like, and this is going to be my first forte into fantasy football in maybe like 5-6 years. I'm on a hiatus and I'm getting back into it, but I need to literally set up my big board like 1 through 150. So that way, when I auto pick, it's the players in the order that I want it.
I got to be honest, man. After years of fantasy football, I'm cool. Like
You
I don't want to play anymore. Here's the cool part. Like
You're hanging up the keyboard?
here's what fantasy football has done for me. I'm not a red zone guy. I will watch it, especially if I'm with friends who like want to watch red zone and everything. Okay, cool, I get it. But that's not how I want to enjoy football. And watching red zone, you don't get a chance to see the whole story. Right, you only see like big plays in some occasions. So I really like to be able to sit down and really dissect a game, and this way I kind of know what I'm talking about. So I don't really want to watch or want to do fantasy only because, like, let's say I'm in 2 leagues, and in one of my leagues I
It's
have
the classic cheering for a player and also being pissed that he scored at the same
man,
time.
it's like, yeah, that's crazy. Or if I'm literally rooting for my team. I am a Patriots fan, for those of you who didn't know. So I'm rooting for my team to win, but they might have Stephon Diggs. The guy I'm playing against has Stephon Diggs. So yes, we score, but damn it, like he got. So it's like
Yes!
I'm always
No!
conflicted, and I don't get to enjoy the game. Like I'm hoping somebody gets another 4 points, and then I'll be good, and I'll win this. And he gets just another 13 points, then I'll be okay, and the game will be over. And it's like, I don't want it. That's not enjoyable for me to watch the game. I just want to watch it and kind of enjoy it. And playing fantasy sometimes takes that ability away from me. So I think this year I'm gonna hang it up. And then I'll be honest, after like week 6, I don't really care anymore. Seriously, I'm not changing rosters. I forgot dudes had bye weeks. It's just, it's one of those things. Oh man, this dude's been hurt for 4 weeks. Has he? Whoops.
No, I think it's just you giving up.
No,
I think at that point you're probably like 1-5 or 1-4, and you're just like, you know what? Yeah, there's no point.
And on top of that, I just forget. Honestly, the Thursday game, I always like forget to change the roster, and so I leave somebody out, and that, ironically, that dude has 50 points that game, and I left him on the bench, and so I just always kind of forget. So I'm like, I'm cool. Never mind.
What broke me in fantasy football a few years ago was, my team was great. Like I was first or second in the league in points scored, but I also was first in the league in points against. And so I was playing everybody when they were having the best week of their life.
Yes, and probably losing every game by like a point.
My
2
defense
points.
was leaking like a sieve, allowing all these points. It was unacceptable. And that broke me. That was one of those where I was like, I can't do anything about this. I can field the best team possible, but I can't prevent someone having the best week of their season against me week in and week out. It happened every single week, and I was done. I was broken by that
also,
point.
I'll be honest, that kind of played into why I'm done this year is because, again, I had a great roster. My draft, when we had the draft, I had the 3rd overall best draft of like 12 guys. So
it was draft grade.
So it was great, right? And then all of a sudden go out and just the team was just trash. Just trash. And so it was like, man, this is weak. So had a great squad, didn't really matter. Had a couple great quarterbacks, all that stuff. Didn't really matter. So, man, I'm stressing myself. And I lost money doing it. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo. No, I'm cool. Like I'm gonna go ahead and just say the no on fantasy this year.
Oh, Pootie Tang reference.
Sadate. What
What
a great film.
Pootie Tang? I mean,
Pootie Tang is super dumb. Let's start there.
It's a film.
But in a good way. Like, this is a terrible movie, but it is super funny with a lot of little quotables in there.
Most of them aren't even
real words.
Aren't even words. No.
Aren't even words. Wadata, my damie. But you know what I mean, You get it.
I feel like I need to get some clips of just Bob Costas from that show.
That was awesome.
One scene where he's talking to Pootie Tang.
When he's doing,
like, what the hell did you just say? Oh, call me down on the panty side. Okay. All right.
I remember Pootie Tang from the Chris Rock show is where that first kind of debut. Yeah, Chris Rock had a whole like talk show / sketch comedy thing that he did on HBO for a long time, and Pootie Tang is the first time I saw that. And so that whole Bob Costas bit at the end, we're like, what the hell are you talking about? Actually was a thing he and Chris Rock did on the show years before that. So,
well, I'm going to fill in.
Shout out to Pootie.
I'm going to fill in one of our listeners. He says, so no Sunday show anymore. Is that what I'm hearing? Yes. Sundays have gone away. No more Sundays. Rashad reluctantly sighs and shakes his head over there.
Man, like,
you loved the Sunday Sod. When you heard this news, I couldn't believe how attached you were to Sundays.
Hey, man, listen.
I was like, oh, my God.
Sundays were
It's one
important.
day.
It is one day, but I mean, it was Sunday. Though.
It was my day, though.
It was, it was kind of the thing. Like, so yeah, I'm a creature of habit. So I, doing stuff the same way over and over again. So yeah, the move was a bit of a surprise, but thinking about it, Saturdays are always cool though. Like, I mean, but Sundays, for whatever reason, I'm always up early, so it never really bothered me that we had to be at the station. Especially, we used to start Sports Sunday at that point at like 8 a.m. And then we decided to change that because
that's terrible.
Because that was super dumb.
Who shows up for a show at 8 a.m. on a weekend?
Even worse, yeah, right. That's
oh,
craziness.
What's up, Swag?
Swag's still here. Our fault.
Swag.
Hey, boss, how you doing, buddy? So no, it was one of those things. And coming to prep it like this. Shout out to Dirt and Sprague. Number one, I've done Dirt and Sprague before. You've hosted Dirt and Sprague before. Yeah. That 6 a.m. start time is a beast. And if we're coming to like prep or anything before, or just kind of showing up just a little bit before, that means you're getting here at 5 o'clock, 5:15, maybe a little bit before that. Like,
I mean, who would host or produce a show on weekdays at 6 a.m.?
Oh, hey, Swag. I'm sorry,
Swag.
You're still here?
God, go home. What are you doing? Don't you have golf to play? What the hell?
Swag
Get out of here.
Yeah, Swag has a Murphy bed somewhere in this studio. I guarantee it. Like,
dude, after this week, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, you know what? Let's just put in a bed.
I'm almost for sure Russ slept here. On the couch, on one of the big yellow couches.
Thought about it.
Yeah.
Dude, it was quite the week. Shout out to everybody that actually, had bigger fish to fry when it comes to this move. I mean,
And I also want to
Rust, Swag, Buckley,
say 100%.
and then all the show hosts Monday through Friday, hyping it up. The move over to FM and the new schedule. Shout out to Boss Man Cooley and Brand Man Dusty Hara.
Absolutely.
And shout out to a phenomenal sales staff for what they've done over the years.
There's one or two of you guys that's pretty good, right?
I know Luke's really been kicking ass, hasn't
Man, that Kurt man has been killing, bro. So
Kurt wasn't even here yesterday.
yeah,
Don't give him kudos.
Man, also I gotta say this, man. I have to say this. So I'm here at the station because of Hunt for the Host back 11 years ago.
Yes.
And two of my buddies, two of my Hunt for the Host brethren, got their opportunity to really be on-air talent throughout the week, man. And that's one, Patrick Harris. Shout out to my guy, Patrick. And also, man, shout out to my guy, Luke Anderson. Like, I know how hard those guys have grinded to be able to kind of it's a tough, man. Everybody wants one of those slots. Like, it's a tough gig to get, and both of those guys really deserve it. So I'm super proud of them, man. Like, we were only supposed to be here for a year. I don't know if people know that. Like, this is year 11 for me. Like, that contract thing was for 1 year for each of us. And so here we are. And so I'm proud of my guys, and I'm proud of the new lineup, man. It looks awesome. And this is going to be a great go of it on 105, the fan.
Yes, 105.1 The Fan, 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app, YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, me and Patrick got major beef.
Yeah, you left you high and dry, though.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it did kind of feel nice Tuesday night not to have to do anything and just go home. Not gonna lie, that was a nice change of pace. But
do y'all ever think about, man, I'm just gonna crash here at the station. I'm not going. I don't know, Russ. Where do you live?
Like Bethany, near Tannisbourne,
Okay.
basically.
Not okay. So
Yeah.
Close-ish in
Yeah.
comparison to some of these guys, like this guy.
Yeah,
and
Joe
like
and
Jordan.
Danny that, live in
the
Newburgh.
Boondocks for no reason.
hey, Newburgh's a great American town. Okay, got the Old Fashioned Festival weekend or this weekend. Big old fireworks and food and fair stuff and rides that are probably very suspect that you probably shouldn't get on.
I don't get on those rides.
I don't know if they've been maintained.
I always tell my son
But-
when we go to the carnival or something like that, you're not getting on that. You're not getting on any of these rides. I'm sorry, things that you can just assemble and then disassemble within like a couple of days, like
Yeah.
I'm not good with.
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
I don't have a death wish.
Yeah,
No, thank
seriously,
you.
this big ass roller coaster just came out of nowhere 3 days ago, built by these high school kids, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I'd rather
sure.
there's a traveling crew with small hands and they smell like cabbage.
No, thank you. We are all good, man.
All right, you ready to sports it up?
Sports.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the dog days of summer. So as we get closer to football season,
Couldn't have a better day to debut a show on Saturday. Just so many sports things going
nothing's
on.
happening. I do want to get into a couple things locally here to start the show. We also had the NFLPA. They're going through a whole lot of legal issues, which isn't fun. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the NFLPA and their team grades. Every year they have the team report cards of like, what are their facilities? What grade do you give them? What is it like for family members? What is the food like? What does the nutrition look like? What are the facilities for the players like? And every team gets a grade in all these categories. And I like going over those to see like how these teams fare out on this side according to the players versus like their on-field success, and also just making fun of teams that got really bad grades as well. I think that would be fun.
I think that's fun. It's always fun to make fun of people.
And then I feel like we need to start previewing some divisions, man. We're
at
getting-
that time.
It's
We're at that time.
So I feel like that we would start with the two divisions that people care about the least in the NFL: the South, AFC South, and NFC South. But first, I want to get to something that happened last night, and damn it, needs to happen here soon. We get that here next. Sports Saturday. Joe Fisher, Rashad Taylor, right here on 105.1 The Fan and 1080 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. That's right. Sports Saturday. Joe Fisher the third, Rashad Taylor
The first.
senior, and Jeffrey Rust rolling with us today. Jordan Schultz not in because he is, I don't know if today is or yesterday or what, but he's doing anniversary stuff with his wife.
And this fool was talking about, I'm not sure if I'm going to be here. I have some anniversary stuff. Man, bro, if you don't, man, get out of here, man. What are you talking about? You're not going to get us in trouble or, make your wife look crazy at us because you want to come in for your show on Saturday. Get out of here.
Dude, God, I really want to be there for the inaugural episode of the Sports Saturday show in the 24th largest media market.
Can't miss it, right?
Yeah, my God. What will I do? My
Yeah.
career will be forever changed if I do not show up to that one show.
Man, you better go spend time with your wife on your anniversary, man. Don't get in trouble.
Joke's
our
on
behalf.
him. We're winning an Emmy because of this show today.
He didn't know, right? He didn't know.
He comes back. It's like, dude, Jordan, that was the best show we have ever
We
done.
got so
before.
many calls and
Yeah.
texts. Yeah, people want to put us on bigger stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan will lose it. Jordan will lose it.
So, yeah, he's out with his wife doing anniversary stuff. I don't know. But last night, Odyssey Portland, we were rolling deep at the Pickles game last night.
Shout out to the Pickles, man.
Yes, shout out to the Pickles. And I wanted to, I wasn't like planning on talking about Pickles or baseball too much today. There is one other baseball thing that will come up in the show. But whenever I go to a Pickles game, I'm just like, I'm there and I'm like, so I was like, has anybody from the MLB to Portland group brought MLB to a Pickles game and shown them that? Because the fact that those games are as packed for a collegiate wood bat league that has no affiliation to Major League Baseball at all, you're going to tell me that baseball wouldn't work here? That Major League Baseball wouldn't work here?
Listen, man.
Like the berm grass area in left field and right field along the foul line, completely full. People are, we had the hot corner like VIP tent for Odyssey Portland. There are people that were sneaking into there that we've never seen before in our life. Like that's like, there's people all over the concourse. Bathroom lines, concession lines are super long. Like, every time I've gone to a Pickles game, it is packed to the gills. And I was talking to one of the guys that works there last night. He's like, yeah, we're trying to figure out how we get more seating in here and trying to figure out how to expand it. And so part of me reluctantly, says like, well, we can do that with the Pickles. Like, why can't we do that with an MLB team? But then that means that the Pickles would probably cease to exist.
Unfortunately,
and
they'd
what
be a casualty.
Yeah, what they've done is so unique that it's one of those like, it's almost hard to like put into words that it's not serious like an MLB franchise, right? Like where we need to win and have results in order to make this, make sense and keep the fans happy and keep them coming. It's like for the Pickles game, people show up for Dill, for the promo nights, just for the fun atmosphere that has been laid there. And so, well, again, reluctantly, I'm like, if we can do this, we can definitely do an MLB team. But part of me is like, well, maybe just keep our pickles, man. Keep our little pickles. Keep our gherkins out there.
I think there's a way to do both. I think the Pickles would have to be incredibly strategic about looking at the major league schedule if it was in Portland and then saying, let's not have games on these days. Let's make sure we kind of schedule games because it is a different experience. And if you've ever been to a AA game or like a AAA game or something like that, like the environment there is just different than at a major league ballpark, right? It almost kind of, you're almost there for all the antics and everything that's happening around the game and not necessarily the game. The Pickles games are just fun. Like,
Yes.
I mean, if you've seen them on TV, like the Savannah Banana games are just fun. It's just kind of, it's a different baseball fun kind of vibe. And it's something for families. It's something you can do for hella cheap. Like if you have a date or if you have kids or if you have something like that and you just want to be outside, like the Pickles games are a great opportunity to do that. I do think they can coexist with a major league team, and I just think they have to be more strategic about when they kind of schedule their games. Because it is a very different market than it is a very different game, I will say, than the major league game. Obviously, there's not as many things around the game that are kind of going on to, kind of give it that fun feel. But yeah, listen, I worked it, and I've said this before, and for those of you who are just listening for the first time, Remember PGE Park?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember that? Or Civic
Believe it
Stadium?
or not, it's still there.
Yeah, if you're Civic Stadium, you know, for me, I went to Grand High School, and that's where we played our football games for a long time. Was
Go hit some old Portland Beavers games there.
and
back
that's
in
what
the
I was
day.
about to say.
Oh,
Those Beaver games, that was the best part of my summer. Seriously, from I want to say 17 till about 19. The Beavers games were so much fun.
And of course, a very famous moment there when what was the guy's name? I want to say Rodney McRae ran through the wall in the outfield.
Yes.
catching
Yeah.
the ball.
One of the
Yeah,
more iconic like sports clips and the
Yeah.
highlights of all time.
So it's like, man, I remember that environment. I remember the feel of the games, just the beer garden, like everything. Like Portland loves baseball. Like let's be 100%. Like we don't have a baseball team, but they would flock to a baseball stadium here if it actually came. So yeah, I'm with you, Joe. I'm not sure if they've actually ever taken any investors or anybody to, you know, a Pickles game or to a
Now-
Hops game or something like that.
Now
see-
I'm envisioning like old white dudes in like full suits at a Pickles game, like
Looking
MLB
around like-
yes,
Hmm.
I think this will do quite nicely here. Yes,
they've got huge hot dogs here.
dude, they have those are like those are made in a lab somehow. Well, I guess hot dogs
More than
are
likely, yeah,
hot dogs
probably.
are kind of already made in a lab.
I don't
it
want a
seems like.
homemade hot dog either.
All made with lips and a-holes.
Yeah, we're good.
If you remember the old The Great Outdoors movie.
I haven't seen Great Outdoors with John Candy and
Dan Aykroyd. Yeah.
Great movie.
Great movie.
I'm telling you, there were hot dogs there last night. I think it was like their all beef, you know, whatever dog, 10 inches and girthy. Like that was, and
Whoa. Mark that, Russ, please. Thank
be
you
a-
so much.
That would be a big fat wiener, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It
man.
would be.
Jeez Louise.
dude, they are clearly overcompensating for something because the hot dogs they were having, I was like, you know what, I'll just take the German sausage. I think that will be just fine for me. There are people walking around with these. They were bigger than my forearm. It was
Russ, mark that one as well, please. Yeah.
it was insane. I'd never seen a hot dog like that before in my life.
Did you eat it?
No.
you put it in your mouth?
No. And then Suk, because he was at the game too, he saw me come back with my German sausage, and he's like, "What is that with your cowardly hot dog?" And I'm like, "I'm not eating a 2-pound hot dog."
I don't know. I just don't trust it. Like one of the things
And
about hot
also,
dogs,
it made me the hot dog was intimidating and made me question myself, and you know, so
yeah, I understand. So you got the smaller German one, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
made me feel better about myself.
There you go. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, man. I won't be shamed into not enjoying a glizzy or enjoying a hot dog. I'm not gonna do that. Listen, they are that's an American as apple pie. I will absolutely have a great hot dog, man. A hot link or whatever.
I
man.
will gobble some glizzies for sure.
Put it between two buns and we got it, man. Absolutely, man. So I won't. Like I said, I just made some bacon wrapped sausages the other day. All the onions and stuff on
Ooh.
top of them, man. They were awesome.
Well, you can
Put
get
them on the grill.
You can get rid of the onions, but
No, the onions, the peppers, all that jazz. Some fancy mustard. Like, let's go. Are you a mayo on your hot dog guy?
no. I mean, like if someone prepares me a hot dog and mayo is on there, along with other condiments, I would not have like just mayo on the hot dog. if
Putting
that's-
mayo on the hot dog is crazy to me.
But if it's mayo, mustard, and ketchup, like yeah, that's good.
That's
Adds a little
crazy
bit of
to me.
sweetness to it. You know, I don't mind it. But if I'm making hot dogs at home, I am not putting mayonnaise on there. I'm just putting some ketchup and mustard, and we're good to go.
Yeah, there's no mayo on my wiener.
Yeah, no.
hope not.
Yeah. The last night, and it did spur in the conversation last night of what condiments you put on your hot dog. And I'm trying to remember who last night said that I think it might have been the BTJ. She was there too. And she said that she goes hot dogs, no condiments,
Oh gosh,
just dog and bun.
that's. I mean,
Psycho
I don't want to
behavior.
say it's serial killer stuff, but I mean that's like coffee black, no sugar, no cream. Like, ew, who wants that?
Dirt does it too.
Yuck.
I've seen Dirt do that. We were, it was like a month or so ago, we were golfing over at Eastmoreland, and we hit the turn for some food and drinks, and he gets his hot dog, and the guy's like, "Oh, condiments are right over there." And Dirt goes, "Oh, no, thanks. I raw dog
No.
it."
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy work, Dirk. I got to be honest, man. Like, for me, man, it's mustard if they have it. And that could be fancy sauerkraut. Like that will be absolutely fine. You know, hopefully. And I'm always gonna defer to Costco is the greatest hot dog ever, man. Like if I'm going to Costco, sometimes that was the only reason I would go. yeah, I'll tag along with my wife to go to Costco just so I can get one of those delicious dogs. But yeah, that's the only time I'll really go out and buy one. And then for whatever reason now, after every game, everywhere, there's somebody frying up some hot dogs after the Blazer game or after you leave the Pickles game.
Yeah,
like
do they have
right
permits for that?
there. Do you care?
No.
Yeah,
No.
me either.
Yeah.
Make your money, man. I'm gonna get one. Give me 2. And then they told me they were $10. I was like, oh, just give me one then. Like, it's cool.
Well, Pickles put on another great show last night.
That's what they do, man. Get your family out to the Pickles games.
And it just makes me yearn for the day that we have MLB in Portland. And also that means that we wouldn't have to talk about the stupid Seattle Mariners anymore. So, I mean, that's a great point there.
Well, for right now,
The less we have to talk about them and, gosh, why aren't they good again? Why are they just underachieving yet again?
I mean, this is you get used to it. Once you live in this area, especially if you're a Mariners fan. I'm sorry, Mariners fans, but you just kind of get used to it. Hopefully they can, maybe this is the year.
No. No.
I'm trying to be optimistic. I don't know, man. I
Oh.
know. I think we all know, but I mean, who doesn't want to be optimistic about the outlook?
Well, MLB to Portland hopefully one day, because then we would see cool things like what happened last night in one of the MLB games. I tell you what that is next here on Sports Saturday on the Fan Sports Network. But first, Jeff Russ with the Sports Center update. 10 inches and girthy.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Mariners fall to the Angels last night, 3-2 in 10 innings. Julio Rodriguez providing the offense for Seattle with 2 home runs on the night. Those same 2 teams back at it tonight, 6:38 first pitch on Root Sports and MLB Network. George Kirby on the bump for Seattle, Tyler Anderson for LA. The Mariners are 5 games back of the Astros in the AL West. Over in the NFL, the Dolphins signed free agent cornerback Jack Jones today. The signing comes in the wake of losing Artie Burns to a season-ending ACL injury. Jordan Schultz reporting the Dolphins also signing former Bengals safety Mike Hilton. Looks as though Justin Fields' dislocated toe may be much ado about nothing. Fields taking part in 7-on-7 drills today, doing some light throwing and rollouts just 2 days after the internet blew up over his injury. And only 2 weekends remain for PGA Tour players to make the top 70 in FedEx Cup points for the playoff. They are at TPC Twin Cities this weekend for the 3M Open. Kurt Kitayama on fire today, 9 under through 14 holes. He is at 15 under overall, 1 stroke clear of the leader through 2 rounds. Thorbjorn Olesen, he will tee off in just a shade over an hour. And then, 2 strokes back, you've got amateur Michael Lasasso, Taylor Montgomery, Jake Knapp at 13 under par. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Hey, it's Dusty. Victorico's breakfast tacos are the perfect way to start your day. Fresh eggs, savory meats, creamy chipotle sauce, and all the flavors you love. They're fast, delicious, and ready to go. Visit them in store or order online for takeout at victoricos.com.
Isaac Robb for Window Nation. You've been considering replacing your windows but haven't found the right company yet. Window Nation makes it easy. Their local experts know what windows work best in Portland. Plus, their windows are backed by a lifetime warranty, which means your investment will last far into the future. And now you get 50% off all window styles and no interest until 2030. 0 interest for 5 years. Prepare for the future and save big today with Window Nation's biggest sale of the year. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com for a free quote. Contractor code 249065.
Online with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered.
That's right. Sports Saturday.
Get used to it.
Joe Fisher, Rashad Taylor. We are now your co-captains on this flight.
Let's go.
What's your Victor? Roger?
Let's say, who's Roger?
Who?
Yeah, who's Victor? I don't know those guys.
Just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you. Just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you. Airplane? No?
I haven't seen Airplane in 30 years.
I was going to say, I'm glad the sentence kept going, because if you were going to say I had never seen Airplane, then that would have been a major problem.
Really, really long time.
This would be our first and probably last Sports Saturday show.
I don't know if that's true, but yeah.
I just, until he watches Airplane, I cannot do this show with Rashad Taylor anymore.
No, yeah. There's a new Naked Gun?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen the commercials. And
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it all the way.
I'll watch it. I won't go to the theater for it, but I'll watch it.
Yeah,
definitely not.
Give it
going
2
to
weeks, and it's on a streaming
Something has
service.
to be really special for me to go to the theater now.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I'm not doing it for Jurassic Park anymore. They're not going to get any more of my money. I see what they're doing, man. No, that's not going to happen. I went to go see Sinners, the last movie that I saw in the theater. But outside of
and
that,
that's on streaming services now too.
It is. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
I started it, fell asleep.
It's on the agenda.
That happens when you get old.
Yeah,
it's on the agenda.
It happens. You got to watch it mid-afternoon type thing. If you watch it late night, you might end up falling asleep immediately.
Well, last night was a movie for one Nick Kurtz of the Athletics, not the Oakland
Athletics.
No,
not anymore at least.
The Athletics. This dude for the Athletics, who I have never heard his name before in my life, went out and had 4 home runs in a single game.
Did the Al Bundy.
I repeat, he went out and had 4 home runs in a single game. One of actually the greatest individual performances in MLB history. 6 for 6, 4 home runs, 6 runs scored, 8 RBIs. 22-year-old rookie.
Jeez.
I believe they said he also tied a major league record with 19 total bases.
Right.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah. That is so dominant. Like 4 home run games, I believe this is the 20th that's ever happened in Major League Baseball history. So a sport with 162 games that's been played over 100+ years, and something that's only happened 20 times. Like,
it's impressive.
Yes. And it just had me thinking, like, of other times in sports that we watched someone that was just dominating the entire game. Because, again, he went 6 for 6. It wasn't like he went 4 for 6 with the 4 home run. Like, he was locked
Every
in
time I was up,
the entire time.
I'm making contact, and most of them are getting knocked out of the park.
Single, home run, double, home run, home run, home run. That was his stat line, or each one of his at-bats. And so, yeah, I was just trying to think, like, for myself and curious for you, Rashad, and you, Jeff Russ, and any of our listeners out there, you can actually text into the program, 503-864-6326. The most dominant performances you ever saw live and in person. And it doesn't have to be an NBA Finals game or Super Bowl or,
Wait, I had to be there?
No, just that you
Okay.
can watch live on TV.
Okay.
Yeah, it did not have to be there live and in person. But I just remember one distinctly. The first one that came up to my mind was, and I thought it was his first game as a Denver Bronco. It was the first game of his second season. But when Peyton Manning, the first game of the year, his second season with Denver, threw 7 touchdowns, and I believe it was on Sunday Night Football. And I think at least 2 of those went to former Portland State Viking Julius Thomas.
Mhm.
So shout out Vikes, blow the
Yeah.
horn. That to me, like sitting there and watching that game in full and seeing him just go off like that, when other people in the room around you don't care about sports or don't know what's going on as far as the storylines and have heard of Peyton Manning, oh yeah, he's a pretty good quarterback, isn't it? And they're even sitting there in awe at someone throwing 7 touchdown passes, no interceptions, just locked in and being able to do whatever they want. That was one performance that popped into my mind as far as the most dominant single game
Who
performances
were they
I've
playing
ever
that
seen.
game?
I just had it up here. Let me. I can find out for you.
No,
Because I thought it was like the Steelers or something like that, but that was Baltimore. They were playing
Okay.
Baltimore on it was
good
a Sunday
defense.
night game.
Yeah, against a good defense in Baltimore and everything. So
27 for 42, 462 yards, 7 touchdowns, no picks.
And that was a Baltimore team that I think had just come off of a Super Bowl win at that
I
point.
believe,
Yeah,
I think so.
and so,
Because they had beat the Broncos the year before in the playoffs. I think that was the Joe Flacco, Jacoby Jones last-minute touchdown to beat the Broncos to advance. And so that's probably why they put them on Sunday night to start the season the following year.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, man. For me, the first game that came up immediately was really Kobe's 81. So I remember I was living in Las Vegas at the time, and I remember being kind of asleep in my grandparents' house, and I hear my grandmother, she and my grandfather, my entire family, they're from Compton, California. So they're huge Laker fans. And so I hear my grandmother just really going off, and I'm just kind of asleep because she loves Kobe and everything. And then I hear my mom going off too, and I'm like, man, what's going on? And come out there and like, Kobe's got like 50-something. I'm like, oh, shoot, okay. So I keep watching the game, and this fool just didn't miss. Like everything he did, like pump fake lay-in. And it was all so smooth and so easy and all the things he was doing. And then just to watch him hit 81 from the line was like, yo, I just saw somebody get 81 points in a basketball game. Like, that's insane. And Kobe's big thing over his career, and he'll get knocked for it, is like he wasn't very efficient. Like that'll be the big knock on Kobe for a lot of people, is the fact that he wasn't efficient. You'll never hear me say that, but whatever. But that game, everything he did was just effortless. And so that's one of the things you talk about, dominant performances. Like we've never seen anybody score anything like that. So to watch it in real time was like, and they were losing that game. That's the part people don't really say. Like they were losing that game going into the second half. And then he came out and just completely destroyed Toronto after that. That was crazy.
Jeff Russ, do you have a single game performance that you recall that was just like, this dude is just on another level above everybody else on the field and just, again, can do whatever he wants?
The first thing that popped to my mind, it wasn't an individual performance, it was a team performance. But I remember when I was a kid, and I don't think the game was actually even on TV, I was just listening on the radio, but the Blazers putting up, I think, 48 points in the first quarter against the Spurs. They couldn't miss.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was a kid, probably junior high or something, maybe high school. But yeah, that's just 48 points. I think they led like 48-20 after the first quarter or something, and they went on to continue to pace the Spurs that night.
But the 4 home runs, dude, like, we have seen plenty of 3 home run games, and then, someone on the text line even brought up, I remember when Mike Cameron of the Mariners had 4 home runs. That is insane.
Was it Cameron? I know hard-hitting Mark Whitten did it.
Like,
I thought it was Mike Cameron. Yeah.
We got to think about, and honestly, like, hitting a baseball, in my opinion, is the hardest thing in sports to do. Like, I mean, I understand having a great golf swing and being able to, sink a 4-in-1 or a hole-in-one from, 1,000 yards away or whatever the case is, who cares? But it's just kind of one of those things, to be able to hit a Major League Baseball is hard enough. Be able to hit 4 home runs in a single game, like, that's crazy. And honestly, there's a lot, luck is on your side. You're feeling great. Like,
do you quit baseball at that point?
That's as good as it gets. Like, you'll probably never have another game as good. You said 19 total runs,
19 total bases, yeah.
19 total bases, 4 home runs. You go 6 for 6, a hit every single time up. Like, now it sucks for him, for this rookie, because now people think that this is supposed to be the norm for him.
Well, I would hope not.
No, for real. Like, people think, no, you had this great game. I remember when T-Mac remember that year he played for the Knicks, and he was kind of banged up and everything like that, but he had his first game with the Knicks and had like 40. And everybody was like, T-Mac is back. This is what he's going to get. And then after that, he 7, 2, 4, didn't score, DNP, like a whole bunch of those things. Hopefully this isn't the trajectory for this young man. Hopefully this is something we see. It's not Linsanity to where he does it for 4 weeks and then we don't see it anymore. Hopefully this is something he can sustain for a career.
Did we know that this is the second 4 home run game this season?
This season?
Yes.
This is his?
No, not his.
Oh, I was about to say,
the second 4 home run game in Major League Baseball
this year?
Eugenio Suarez in April.
That's right, he did.
Man.
In a losing effort to the Braves.
Shows how much I deserved a baseball show. I don't even remember.
Here's the cold
that
part.
we had.
I think they said too. I was on my way in this morning. I was listening to ESPN radio, and I believe they said when Suarez did it, I think it was during the NFL draft. So that's probably why nobody noticed.
Cared. Okay.
But yeah, you're 100% right. He definitely. I am now recalling earlier this year when that happened.
Here's what I love about baseball.
So we've had 2 of the 20 in one season.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Damn.
Here's the great thing about baseball, man. Like, it's a team individual sport. So your team can be ass, but if you're great, like you can still, get some Golden Gloves, some Cy Youngs. Like you can still get all the awards and everything. Like even if your team is trash, you can still relish in the fact that you hit 4 home runs in a losing effort because it's 4 home runs. Like if Kobe had that 81 and they lost, like it would be, I mean, cool, he got 81, but the narrative would be, well, Kobe's a chucker. Of course he got 81. You know what I mean? If he did that in a loss, but the fact that they won is like, but in baseball, if Peyton Manning had lost that game where he had 7 touchdowns, they'd be like, yeah, he's 7 touchdowns, but he lost. That's typical Peyton Manning. That would have been the story for whatever, but not in baseball. You can have a game where where you go into the 8th inning with a no-hitter and then lose and still be considered, man, having a great game.
Somewhere I read that, like you mentioned, like a single game performance, but still ended up in a loss. Someone said game 1 for LeBron in the 2018 NBA Finals, the J.R. Smith game.
Yeah, yeah, man, amazing. And so it happens sometimes.
But I remember that game very much. He was just, oh my God, he was just doing whatever he wanted. So someone on the text line also brought up that he was a couple feet away from 5 home runs last night, and I'm looking at the highlights right now. His double that he hit, it hits literally 5 feet, maybe even less below the yellow line of the home run fence. So he was that close to having the first ever 5 home run game.
I think I saw a graphic. It listed like 6 different MLB parks where that
would have been
a home run.
Dude, so close. So
That's also the thing for me that sucks about baseball is that every park isn't created equal. So what would have been a home run at Fenway, not so much, for the Mariners. So that's the part that like kind of sucks for me. I don't like that. I don't love that.
All right, we are way up against it in typical Fan Sports Network fashion. So we take a break, come back, and wrap up hour 1 here on Sports Saturday on 105.1 The Fan.
Worried?
So we were talking about best single game performances inspired by Nick Kurtz of the Athletics last night, hitting 4 home runs. And Rashad brought up a great one that I do remember watching this one live as well, because I want to say this was a primetime game as well. I think it was a Sunday night.
Yeah, I want to say Sunday or Monday night game. It was one of those two.
The Patriots versus the Titans in the snow during the Randy Moss year that he was with the Patriots.
Yeah.
And the Patriots just absolutely destroyed the Titans 59-0. Like, there are so many different little stat lines and things you can look at this game that just, again, point to how dominant of a game and victory it was, not just for the Patriots, but again, like Tom Brady in the snow, 29 for 34, 6 touchdowns, 380 yards. I mean, hell, even Brian Hoyer got some run, and he went 9 for 11 for 52. For the Titans, Kerry Collins went 2 for 12, -7 yards. Vince Young went 0 for 2. Like, it was combined passing, the Patriots 38 for 45, 6 touchdowns, 426 yards. For the Titans, 2 for 14, -7 yards with 2 picks. Wes Welker, 10 catches, 150. Randy Moss, 8 catches for 129, and he had 3 touchdowns. Kevin Falk, remember him? I know you
Absolutely. 100%.
I mean, that game goes down as one of the biggest just ass beatings of all time in any sport.
Oh, man. And mind you, that was the 3rd year of the Randy Moss, Tom Brady kind of whole thing. My first year, they went undefeated. Ish. You know, they lost in the Super Bowl. The second year, they Brady got hurt game 1 of the season or something like that. Like, first couple plays, Brady went out for the season. And so this is the 3rd year of
the Matt Castle season.
Yeah, the Matt Castle season. And so this is the 3rd year of that project. And so it should be noted, the Titans were terrible. The Titans were already 0-5 going into that game. Like, they weren't expected to do anything. And man, Tom Brady and Randy Moss, it was all deep balls the entire time. Man, just goes. Flies, whatever you want to call them. That's all they were doing the entire time. And Randy Moss is my favorite receiver of all time, my favorite football player of all time. Just his stride and the things that he could do once he got there, and he could jump out of the stadium. Like, Randy Moss was a cheat code in anything. Michael Vick are the greatest Madden characters of all time, because there's nothing you can do about them. You throw him the ball or you give him the ball and it's a wrap. So, yeah, I remember that game in the snow, and they killed them like 56-0, 57-0.
Yeah, 59-0.
Yeah, it was crazy. That's not even like there should be like a mercy rule in football, in sports. Like, all right, man, like, y'all got us. It's the 3rd quarter, and you guys are seriously.
We're good here.
It's 44, 46. Like, listen, we can go ahead and wave the white flag at this point. We don't need to finish this game.
Well, it just, honestly, the most eye-opening thing looking at that box score is the passing aspect of it. Like, in a snowy game like that, one team was both quarterbacks, the starter and the backup, were both able to complete passes and move the ball downfield. And the other team was completely inept at being able to do so.
And more than that, you had 2 guys on a team that had over 120 yards receiving. That's the crazy part. Like, usually you have one receiver that did an amazing job, and another one that probably did a serviceable job, maybe not over 100 yards, but probably got a nice 75 to 80 yards, which is awesome as a receiver. You know, you get that many yards a game, and that's great. So to have Wes Welker have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then Randy Moss have 129 and 3 touchdowns, like, off of 8 catches for Randy Moss. Like, they were mixtaping those fools out there. Like, it was fun to watch because I'm a Patriots fan, but I can imagine if you hated the Patriots, you were super pissed off watching that.
That was one of those. I feel like I've had this happen at different points in my life where, like, there are teams that I absolutely hated because they were winning and they were successful, but then they just did something, whether it was over a game or a series, where I was just like, I can't even hate anymore. You guys are just that much better than everybody else out there.
That's how I felt for a long time about watching the Warriors. You know, at first it was irritating.
See, that never happened for me. I still hate the Warriors.
Watching Steph dance and stuff like that, it's like, bro, pack these dudes up. I can't stand the Warriors. But then you watch, like, how effortless it is sometimes for Steph, and it's like, man, I can't even be mad at that. Or watching Patrick Mahomes and watching him, like, do a behind-the-back pass or some type of weird shovel and be like, damn it, bro. Like, I want to hate you, but I can't. You're so cold.
It happened with the Spurs in that the finals against the Heat where they won. I believe it was 4-1.
Oh, the second year.
Yeah, just ran
They
them out of the
demolished them.
building. Yeah, exactly. That was one where I was just like, dude, I can't. I hated the Spurs, but after that series, it was one of those where I was like, I can't anymore.
See,
I was like, they are just fundamentally better than everyone at basketball.
Yeah, Tim Duncan is one of my 2 favorite players of all time, so I would always root for him to do well. But yeah, I remember because, mind you, the year prior to that, the Spurs lost, and Tim Duncan's only blemish, Greg Popovich's only blemish, is LeBron James and that Heat team. From 2013, I think that got them. And so the next year, yeah, they boat raced them. You're not going to beat us twice.
On the text line, someone brings up Connor Holiday of Washington State versus Jared Goff in Cal 2014. Connor Holiday finished that game 49 of 70, 734 yards passing, 6 touchdowns. Jared Goff had 527 and 5 touchdowns, but 734 and 6 touchdowns. I mean, that's Washington State to a T, where they're just airing it out the entire time. But 734 yards, 6 touchdowns. And, of course, that game, what time did it kick off at? 7:30. That's Pac-12 After Dark right there. That's a classic Pac-12 After Dark matchup.
I'll be honest. Don't miss Pac-12 After Dark. Don't miss Pac-12 After Dark. Got to be honest. I'll be real. I wasn't a huge fan of Pac-12 After Dark, but I mean, sometimes every now and then you get a huge gem in there. We talk about great performances, and he had a bunch of them. I'm not sure if you remember the quarterback from Hawaii, Colt Brennan.
Oh yeah.
But he used to put up numbers like every week. Like it was the only time, besides my guy Alex Green. Shout out to my man Alex. Only time I would actually really turn on Hawaii football or try to actively find Hawaii football is to see Colt Brennan do crazy work out there.
All right, let's wrap up hour number 1, move it to hour number 2 here on Sports Saturday. NFLPA team grades are out. Love looking at these because these are the players voting on their franchises in a bunch of different categories. And it's always fun to look at, what teams get the best grades and if that has any correlation to their on-field success. But also, I just like to see what teams get really bad grades and stuff and make fun of them for it.
That's the best.
And then we're going to do a little AFC, NFC South preview in the second hour as well. But hour number 2 coming up of our maiden voyage on Saturday, Sports Saturday here on the Fan Sports Network. That's right. Hour number 2, Sports Saturday here on 105.1 The Fan, 1080 The Fan, YouTube, the Odyssey app, Twitch. Now, I went and looked up. We were talking with our new engineer bro, Josh, the other day after our going away party for an employee.
Okay.
And we were talking about the YouTube audience that we have, and he's like, "Are you guys on Twitch also?" And he's like, "Oh, you guys got to be on Twitch." And we're like, "Yeah, we are on Twitch." I was like, "It's not, it's not quite the same audience as YouTube." I went and looked up YouTube. We're just shy of 6,000 subscribers on the 105.1 The Fan YouTube page. On Twitch, 127.
Yeah, I mean, Twitch is for the kids, and I mean,
that's what I always say.
Russ, do you have a Twitch?
No.
Do you have a Twitch, Jordan? Jordan, Joe?
I have a Twitch account, but I do not do any sort of streaming or watching anything on it.
I also have a Twitch account. It's, really for gaming more than anything. And yeah, I don't ever really use it. Like, we need to use it more. We definitely need to use our Twitches more.
For the fan?
Just in general.
I think we're good.
I mean,
I'll stream some feet stuff on there if
yeah,
people are down
man,
for that.
Want to be, I mean, that's a whole other website, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
thanks for the sub.
I think you can really.
You want to see my pinky toe?
I think you can really make some money doing that, which is weird. But
if I get 10 subs, you will see my pinky toe.
There is somebody that will pay to see your feet, though.
Oh yeah,
100%.
for sure. Contemplated, man. It's a good source of some passive income right there. But we are on the YouTube. That's the cash cow right there. Is on YouTube, the Odyssey app, and now on 105.1 FM. Unbelievable.
Hey.
All these years, we made it.
We did. Here we are.
Mama, we made it.
Thank you for rocking with us, too.
NFLPA, they're going through some not fun stuff with, like, people having to resign after stealing a bunch of money and just a whole bunch of legal issues right now that doesn't sound fun to talk about. What is fun to talk about is their 2025 report card. So they've been doing this for the last couple years now, where they essentially ask every player, 1,695 of their players provided information to share with one another about their current club to not only help them make important career decisions, but also help raise standards across the league. So they grade every team based off of treatment of families, food and dining area, nutritious dietitian, locker room, training staff, weight room, strength coaches, team travel, head coach, and ownership.
Okay. So can I guess the teams that have the lowest grades?
Yeah, you definitely can. I mean, which category? Do you want to go?
Let's go with let's start with head coach.
Head coach. All right. Who has the lowest score for head coaches?
I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
Cleveland is the third, which I don't know if is exactly fair, because I feel like Kevin Stefanski is probably the best head coach they've had over the last 25 years, but they are tied for last with a C grade at head coach. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville. And that's not even fair. The dude hasn't even coached one game.
And that's the only reason why. Is because you can't give somebody a high grade if you don't know what they're capable of doing. So
Jags
I totally understand
head
that.
coach Liam Cohen coming over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, shoot. I
was gonna say, use that same philosophy, that same standard, and you could maybe guess what the other team is on here with the lowest.
Yeah,
grade.
I'm trying, and I'm looking at all my teams. I'm gonna say the Cowboys.
No,
really?
How dare you?
Actually, you know why I dare.
Hey, Dallas Cowboys head coach got an A, baby.
No way.
Yes, Brian Schottenheimer's already winning over the locker room.
Already,
right?
I can tell this is flawed.
Hell yeah, brother.
This is flawed already. Remember how angry people were that Shotty was hired in the first place, and now he's an A. Like, okay,
that's an A. That's an A hire right there.
I guess the other team I would probably say would be. I'm gonna say the Jets.
No, it is not the Jets. The Jets got a B. The other one, and this was interesting because he was one of the bigger names in the coaching carousel, and that was Ben Johnson, new Chicago Bears head coach coming over from the Detroit Lions.
I was gonna say Bears, but I figured because it was Ben Johnson, and they would probably give the benefit of the doubt, but I guess not.
There was only one team who got at least an A in every single category. Not even an A-, at least an A in every single
Was
category.
it the Chiefs?
It was not the Chiefs. No, the Chiefs actually, their owners are known for being some cheap asses, honestly. So like they don't.
Okay, so I have to
They
think about who the
normally
best
don't
owner
get
is.
like amazing grades in some of the categories. Like their locker room is a D-, treatment of families is a B-, a C- for their training room, C+ for weight room, C for training staff, ownership C-. So, but there was one team that got A's across the board.
Wow.
And I bet I could give you 3 guesses and you would not guess the team.
Okay, well let's see.
Well, give me 3 guesses, Rashad. Damn it.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were gonna give me hints. Okay, my bad.
No.
All right, well, I'm gonna say
Based off of what you know about these franchises in the NFL,
okay.
who you think it could be.
Okay. I'm gonna say the first one, I'm gonna say Philadelphia Eagles.
It is not the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. So
They
you
got
said-
some decent grades around. They got an F in team travel though.
Oh,
So as
really?
far as
Okay.
yeah, so as
Okay.
far as their travel logistics for the team,
And I'm thinking about
Not
great.
great.
I'm thinking about great ownership too, and I'm thinking about great facilities and stuff. Denver.
Denver. It was not Denver, but they got some decent grades in there here a little bit. A owner, A for team travel, A- for nutritionist, dietitian. They got an F for their locker room.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
So those are
That's weird.
So you went Chiefs, you went Eagles, you went Denver Broncos. No, the one team that got at least an A in every single category, the Miami Dolphins.
Wow. Not surprising.
Really?
Oddly enough, only because I'm thinking about like the stadium and the facilities and the fact that it's in Miami and all these things, and so I'm like, okay, I could see that.
Well, even like what was shocking to me was their owner.
I would have said Tampa Bay as well.
Their owner got an A+, and Stephen Ross is kind of a boob. Like he is like not one. I thought he was one of the worst owners in the league, like well known. But I guess the players absolutely love him.
Yeah, and when you start turning, remember Miami was an S show for a long time, and they're really just kind of recently starting to get back to playing some good football over the past like 4 or 5 seasons, and so that can change things for people as well.
Someone on the text line said that these survey results were taken last season. They think that they were taken last season. So, like the Bears and Jags are grading the coaches who got fired, not the new ones. That makes a bit more sense because those were 2 teams that fired their head coaches last year, and Doug Peterson and Matt Eberflus.
Okay.
Matt Eberflus, new Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator. Matt Eberflus, baby. Let's go.
You guys are really going for it this year, huh, Cowboys?
Listen,
let's go.
Listen, I've gotten over the off-season doldrums, and now that we're a couple weeks from the season, I am fully back into. I think this could be our year.
Feeling good. Hey, man, things change real quick.
You know what? I think I like what we got out there.
I'm concerned about what you guys are doing with Micah Parsons. That's a concern.
That is
and
a
he's clearly
whole-
concerned. He got his new braces on, so clearly these got to be paid for somehow. Like, run the check.
Braces ain't cheap.
CTC, man, cut the check.
Yeah.
We'll take him.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll take 'em.
sure every team would take.
Yeah,
Micah
so
Parsons.
do right by him, Dallas. Don't be stupid.
Atlanta Falcons got really good grades across the board. They had A's in every single category except 2, where they had a B+ and a B for team travel and training room.
I'm curious what all of the teams that play in domes, what their grades.
What they were
are.
working with?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Arizona Cardinals, they got a lot of bad grades.
Shocker.
Yeah, that's one of the cheaper franchises in the NFL also.
You talk about a franchise that really I don't think ownership really cares about the Cardinals and what they do or what they do.
Yeah, it doesn't
it doesn't really seem like they really care about what that franchise is doing right now.
The only team where their owner got an F, and it makes 100% sense.
Green Bay?
No, they don't have an owner.
Well, that's why we get an F.
they got an incomplete.
Oh, okay.
The Jets got an F, which Woody Johnson, yes, and his son in the locker room doing dumb stuff like that 100% makes sense that the Jets got an F in ownership. Steelers got a D. Your boy Robert Kraft got a D.
That's ridiculous, but okay. That's no one agrees with that. That's
how
hate.
dare you?
Yeah,
He is a pioneer. All
he
right?
is, man. He is.
Yeah, Cardinals D-, Panthers D-. The one that I'm somewhat always curious about is the food and dining area. Like, who's got the food just dialed in? So I feel like being an NFL franchise, like, the world is your oyster. You have a ton of money. You have a billionaire owner. Like,
I can already guess who probably has the best.
well, it's a team I already said. It was the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, yeah.
They got
I
an A+.
figured Miami. I figure Atlanta. Maybe New Orleans.
Atlanta's up there with an A. New Orleans, that'd be nice, but they are scrolling. New Orleans is second to last.
Wow, that's surprising.
Well,
that's
they've got
surprising.
oil-covered shrimp down there that they have to eat. Like, I had a shrimp po' boy the other day though. Fantastic.
Listen, have you had the
Oh my god.
what was the place? Montage used to be awesome. Well, there's still like a Montage cart.
That's what it was.
Yeah, man, get the
Yes.
gator.
Oh my god.
Yeah, try the gator.
The gator.
The gator po' boy. Really good.
Bengals are like across the board terrible. Bad food, bad treatment of family. They got an F- for treatment of families. That one I feel like if you want to piss your players off quickly, treat their families like crap.
Listen, most things that have ever gone wrong with like pre-agency or something like that was around family, right? And so I remember when, and this is a basketball related thing, but remember when Tim Duncan was going to go sign with the Magic, and nobody remembers this. Like he was about to go sign with the Magic, and then I think Doc Rivers told them like, "Oh man, we don't travel with family on the plane." Man, if that's all you got to do to get Tim Duncan is let his wife or his kid get on the plane with the team for.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'll buy you your own plane, Tim. You can do whatever you need to do, bro. So, yeah, that treatment of family is incredibly important.
Yeah, so if you are getting an F-, Cincinnati Bengals or the Jaguars got an F, this is a bizarre one. The Los Angeles Rams got a D in that category. It's like
That's treatment of family.
Yeah. Now, granted, you're in LA.
That doesn't shock me.
I'm sure there are some bougie families that are asking for a lot.
Yeah, and that's why it's the ask of being in LA and stuff like that. It's the ask of being. I'm not sure what the Raiders treatment of family looks like, but moving to Vegas, I'm sure that probably changed some things for them.
Raiders got B+ in that.
Okay.
Which, from my understanding, is that Davis Bro, that their owner, is actually like a pretty decent dude. It's just he can't hire the right people in the football room. But my understanding is like his, him running the franchise and his like temperament, I guess, if you will, is that he is not like his old man, and that he actually does a pretty decent job as far as being like,
It sounds like people are excited.
He got an A in the ownership category.
I was about to say, it sounds like people are excited-ish about what Pete Carroll's going to do with that Raiders team. So we'll see.
Well, and the Raiders, they were another team that they almost got an A, at least an A- in every category outside of treatment of families, which got a B+. So.
Stadium is awesome. If you've never been to Allegiant, man, it is an awesome stadium.
All right, let's take a break. Let's start previewing some divisions, baby.
Let's do it.
Let's go over to the AFC South. We got the Jags, we got the Texans, we got the Colts, and we have the
AFC South. We're doing the South, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the fourth team?
Jags.
I said the Jags, Texans, Colts,
Titans.
Well, that's definitely a forgettable franchise.
Yeah, for
right
sure.
there.
We don't expect much from the Titans.
This is why we're getting them out of the way first.
Not yet,
okay?
at least. We don't expect much from them yet, but they got a young man that's probably going to make us notice them in a little while.
We'll go AFC South first, then we'll go NFC South here in the second hour on Sports Saturday on 105.1 The Fan. Sports Saturday here on The Fan. Well, color me intrigued. Text line. Someone said, if you've seen Mark Davis's girlfriend, you'd understand how you can relate to players in their 20s. Well.
Okay.
All right, let's
I mean,
do
he is the owner of a Las Vegas franchise. So
I'm doing a quick Google here. Yeah. Good for you, Mark Davis. Good for you. And I'm sure she's in for it because of the personality.
She has to be.
Personality,
and the haircut,
and physical attractiveness.
Yeah,
that haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pumpkin pie haircut freak. Yeah. That's what yeah, that's what he looks like. He looks like Lloyd Christmas.
You know what he needs? He needs a black barber. Is what he needs.
I mean, hey, I got a couple. I'll hook you up. Hook you up. I think all of you guys should see one. If you want the Travis Kelce cut, I got somebody that can give that to you.
I love this line. 69-year-old Raiders owner says his 26-year-old girlfriend didn't know he was a billionaire, and she was just attracted to his smile.
Right. I had no idea. She didn't Google you at all. Yeah. I mean, hey.
Whoo!
Yeah. I mean, well, that's awesome that she's in it for the personality.
Yeah, that's just a good old American love story right there.
I'm sure Belichick's girlfriend is the same thing. Like, he's super funny.
Can you imagine if she was just dialed in, like, football-wise? Like, they're, like, going over, like, the All-22 film, and she's just like, no, Bill, see.
Yeah, we're weak on the left side.
Yeah.
You have to – we've got to double
if you're
up
running
on
a 3-4 defense, you have to make sure that that line of linebackers, like, just going deep into it.
That would be awesome if that were the case. I doubt it.
I love it when you talk cover 2.
Yeah, I doubt it. But, yeah, I don't know what they talk about, like scrunchies or, what do you talk about with a 24-year-old? Seriously, if you're a 78-year-old man, how old is Belichick? He's pretty old. He's an old dude.
Yeah.
He's getting up
old.
to his 70s at this point.
I think he is 70.
You
at
have
least.
You have nothing in common with this young woman. Let's just be 100% honest.
He's 73.
The only thing y'all have in common is the fact that you have money, she likes money, and ipso facto, you guys can be together because of it. So that's what it is.
All right. NFL stuff, eh?
Let's do it.
AFC South this year. The team who won the division last year is the team who has won it the last 2 years, and that is the Houston Texans. The Indianapolis Colts with a disappointing season, the Jaguars with a disappointing season, and the Titans with a season. Is there a chance that any one of those three teams can usurp the Houston Texans this upcoming season? Because, quite frankly, I think this is 3 in a row for Texans as far as winning the division.
Yeah, no, it should be the Texans. The only team that probably could sneak up on people is the Titans. And the only reason I say that, here's the only reason. Here's the only reason I say that.
You sure about that, bud?
No, the only reason I say that is because there is no NFL film right now on Cam Ward, and so you have a team that's projected to be bad. So I haven't seen their schedule yet, but I assume it's pretty favorable considering that they had a 3-9 record last year. Or excuse me, they were not 3-9, but they were.
I was gonna say,
no, they were that.
We just don't even want to finish the season, please.
No, yeah. So it was one of those things. Like, they were worse than 3-9, but they weren't a very good team, which is why they landed the number 1 draft pick. And sometimes we know if you don't have a winning season, you get a pretty favorable schedule. Let me pull up their schedule.
Well, I will tell you that across the board in every sports book, they have the worst odds to win the AFC South.
Worst odds. And the only reason I'm saying that because I don't trust the Colts and Anthony Richardson at this point. Like, him coming out of the game because he was quote unquote tired last season was I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback do that.
Unforgivable.
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of weird. As a leader, like that was kind of weird. And I really like Anthony Richardson. And so that was a weird thing to do. But I'm looking at
weird is putting it lightly.
No, I can't say what I really want to say because we're on radio, but that was super strange and it showed me kind of a lack of heart. And as my quarterback, that's not what I need from you.
Dude.
Like, I can't do that. But I'm looking at the schedule and
I ain't even gonna lie, I was tired. The way he admitted it too.
Yeah,
there was this part in the moment where I was just like, "Well, damn,
what?
I appreciate the honesty, but
no, but what?
I think you just need to lie right there, dude."
Seriously, you know how far he slipped down everybody's fantasy board just from that line? I got tired. What? You for real? No, I think I'm kind of off him as a leader. But yeah, I'm looking at their schedule. If you're the Titans, and I mean, it's not as easy as it sounds. You starts with the Broncos, Rams, Colts. 2 or 3 of those games are going to be, pretty tough for you to win. But then you've got the Cardinals and some other teams. So there is some opportunity for them to upset some folks, but probably not going to happen.
Titans 5.5 is their over/under win total. The Colts are at 7.5, as are the Jaguars at 7.5, and then the Texans are at 9.5 for over/under win totals. Listen, there are some intriguing aspects about this division, especially with the Jaguars now getting Liam Cohen, offensive-minded young head coach coming over from the Buccaneers after, back-to-back years of the Buccaneers having great offenses. I mean, first it was Brian Canales, the OC, and he went over to Carolina as the head coach. And then it's like, all right, you're losing your OC who just had a great offensive season. Then Liam Cohen steps in for the Buccaneers, and he's like, oh, we're just going to have another great offensive season, and he gets a job out of it. So I'm intrigued to see what the Jags look like with Trevor Lawrence getting probably paid more than he has shown that he deserves at this point, and what Liam Cohen and that team's going to do. And then obviously with the Travis Hunter aspect, what that team is going to look like, whether they're using him on both sides of the ball or if he just becomes a main receiver weapon. Or I personally think you need to have him at corner full time.
They need corners. They need
their secondary was putrid
ends.
last year.
They weren't very good at those two particular positions. I don't think they're great at receiver, but I don't know if Travis Hunter, I think he would be a better defender than he would be a receiver at this point.
They got Brian Thomas. He was a rookie last year out of LSU, and he had a great season his first year with the Jaguars. Like, he was one of the granted, I think he was still a first-round pick, but, yeah, he had a phenomenal first year with the Jaguars. So that's why I'm intrigued to see, like, if I'm going to go any team to be able to take down the Texans this year, I'm going to go with the Jags, and I think I had the Jaguars winning the division last year, and that did not work out, clearly.
It never really does for anyone.
I feel like that's a death wish right there.
I think Trevor Lawrence has his gas. Like, we gotta talk about when enough is enough and when we're going to stop, kind of vaulting Trevor Lawrence as this guy. Maybe he's just not, I think he really has his job cut out for him. In Jacksonville this year, but it's been a long time. This is year 6 for Trevor? 5?
I think 5.
Yeah, year 5, and still very little production to really show for it. So I think that's the part for me. Is like, man, I think I have faith in Trevor Lawrence. At least I have had faith in Trevor Lawrence. Like, at this point, we need to see it. Like, everything that this team does is based off of what Trevor Lawrence is able to do. So, Liam Cohen has his work cut out for him because he's got to try to figure out a way to make this young man a winning quarterback. And that's what he hasn't been at this point. We all see the skill, but for whatever reason, he just hasn't been a winning quarterback.
Yeah, just the consistent performance throughout the season. And yeah, stay upright, stay healthy, give us a full season of more than just productive football.
More than just beautiful hair.
Yeah, you got to
Marsha. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, you gotta make a jump this year. And then as far as the Texans go, I know that they won the division last year, but it was not a pretty year for the Texans.
It was not.
It was, and they ended up getting the playoff win against the Chargers where they picked off Justin Herbert 4 times. So that might have put some lipstick on the pig there, but it was not like a season like 2 years ago when the Texans came out of nowhere, C.J. Stroud's rookie year. I think they took a step back last year. So to kind of right the ship, D'Amico Ryans has got to get that team kind of looking how they did 2 years ago versus last year, because it was just an odd year for them, even though they ended up winning the division and getting a playoff
and
win.
That was kind of why I mentioned the Titans as potentially being one of those teams that can come out of nowhere, because that year that the Texans came out of nowhere, no one was expecting that. That was supposed to be the Jaguars' year to be able to come in and kind of put their stamp on being in charge of the AFC South at that point. And they really couldn't do it because all of a sudden this young startup and C.J. Stroud and the Texans came out of nowhere. And so that's the only reason that nobody knew what to expect from him. I think at this point, nobody really knows what to expect from Cam Ward. He's talented, but how far can he really take you? And then you look at what Jaden Daniels, did in Washington. Again, who was expecting the Commanders to be anywhere near the top of the NFC East?
Yeah.
No one.
Well, and I think that's, maybe something we do here in the next couple of weeks is look at the teams that missed the playoffs that we want to bet on or bank on making the playoffs this year. Because, it happens every year. There's teams that don't go back and they, revert back to a bad season, or a team that plays above above what people are expecting and do make the playoffs. So, I think that like last year was the Denver Broncos. Like no one saw that coming. I think that's something maybe we would do in the next couple weeks. Let's take a break and jump over to the NFC South here on Sports Saturday on the Fan Sports Network. But first, Jeff Russ with the Sports Center update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Mariners fall to the Angels last night, 3-2 in 10 innings. Julio Rodriguez providing the offense with 2 home runs. Those same 2 teams back at it tonight. 6:38 first pitch on Root Sports and MLB Network. George Kirby on the bump for Seattle, opposite Tyler Anderson for Los Angeles. The M's are 5 games back of the Astros in the AL West. Over in the NFL, Dolphins signed free agent cornerback Jack Jones today. The signing comes in the wake of losing Artie Burns to a season-ending ACL injury. Jordan Schultz reporting the Dolphins also signing former Bengals safety Mike Hilton. And after the internet collectively lost their minds Thursday with a Justin Fields injury, he was back taking part in 7-on-7 drills today despite that dislocated toe. He did some light throwing and rollouts, again, just 2 days after suffering the injury. 2 weekends remaining for PGA Tour players to make the top 70 in FedEx Cup points for the playoff. They are at TPC Twin Cities for the 3M Open. Currently the third round. Plenty of low scores on the course today, but none lower than Kurt Kitayama. He just birdied 18 to finish 11 under for the day and 11 under 60. He is 17 under overall. 3 strokes clear of Jesper Svensson and second round leader Thorbjorn Olesen, who should be getting ready to tee off here any minute. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Doing a little bit of NFL divisional previews here on Sports Saturday.
Love it.
Our first show on Saturday after doing Sundays for all those years.
How do you like it so far?
It feels the same.
Does it?
Once we kind of do this and get in our element, it's definitely the same. I think as the day goes on and then waking up tomorrow and doing this a few more times, it will start to feel a little different. But I don't know, man. We just show up, turn the mics on, flip them on, and do our thing. And
it will be nice to sleep in just for a little bit tomorrow. I don't get a chance to sleep in on Sunday. I haven't slept in on a Sunday in 11 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like sleeping in on a Sunday. I mean, like
unless there's something
off or something like that.
Yeah, unless it's a holiday like we had, a couple weeks ago, to where everybody's going to be gone for the weekend. Like, yeah, I don't think I've slept in for a long time on Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that.
NFC South. Last year, it was the Buccaneers that won that division. Their offense has been on point the last few years.
Baker Mayfield, man, knows how to play football.
I love Baker, dude.
He's grown on me.
Yeah, I'm just so glad. Like, I wanted him to be successful in Cleveland because it seemed like he was getting some unnecessary hate out there and played well, got them to the playoffs, got him a playoff win. And then it seemed like his career was just about to like go down the drain. Then went to Carolina and went to the Rams for half the season. I feel like there's another team in there that I'm forgetting that he was at, but
yeah, Baker was one of those guys. He kind of had some FU in him,
which I love.
Yeah, but I think he rubbed a lot of people wrong. Coming off of a Heisman and all these things that you were able to do in college. And I think by the time he got to the NFL, like, he was kind of a D-bag, and I think people just kind of were turned off by that. And if I'm being honest, he had to be humbled a little bit. And playing for the Panthers will absolutely humble you. I just think it's just one of those places that it's like football purgatory. You get sent there and pretty much your career is over. And then usually careers are much better after you leave Carolina, unless you're Cam Newton. But for the most part, I think that was the big thing for him. So I think he had to humble himself and really come with a different mindset. And since he's done that, he's been the leader in that locker room, and he's been really He's been a top 10 quarterback, in my opinion, in the NFL over the last 2 seasons.
Well, I fully expect the Buccaneers to win this division again. I think that they've been adding some young pieces offensively to an aging receiving core in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, Chris Godwin is coming off of a terrible injury from last year. So kind of see where he goes from here. But they added Jalen McMillan out of Washington in last year's draft. They added Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State in this year's draft. I mean, Bucky Irving is going into year 2 after a breakout rookie season with them. There is no reason why the Buccaneers should take a dip after losing, Liam Cohen, their offensive coordinator. But again, it kind of seems like plug and play for them at offensive coordinator. It's like, oh, we lost Brian Canales. All right, here, Liam Cohen, can you take over? Oh, we lost Liam Cohen. All right, Josh Grizzard is now our OC and is just going to be able to fill the gap here. So yeah, I fully expect the Bucs to win this division, and it's kind of what it was last year, is that the only other team that I feel can compete with them and maybe push them for the division crown is the Atlanta Falcons. But we're going to get a full season out of Michael Penix, and who knows what that looks like. It got a lot better in his tenure, his stretch last season when he got put in as the starter. I think as the season went along, he got more comfortable, caught the speed, and I hate Michael Penix for being a Husky, but that dude can play quarterback. That dude has pocket presence, and he can drop it in the bucket, put it on a dot. Like, he just has this knack of how to throw the ball. And so I expect the Falcons to be better than they were offensively, and him to be better and just get another year under his belt. I mean, the Falcons, I feel like they definitely could make things interesting in this division.
For sure. I think Michael Penix had a great opportunity to learn under a really good quarterback in Kirk Cousins. He had an opportunity for a year. Now, mind you, it wasn't the year that Kirk Cousins was looking for, but hoping for, but he was never negative. And I don't know if you've been watching quarterbacks at all, if you've seen the new season.
I've been trying to watch it with the boy and coordinate that, and I got to get him off that damn Rocket League.
Well, good luck with that, man. But Kirk Cousins, man, I love his outlook on stuff. I love his disposition. He's just kind of like, he understands how blessed he is to play football and all these things. Obviously, he's a competitor and wants to play, but it's just kind of one of those things. But either way, Michael Penix Jr. had an opportunity to learn from a really consistent quarterback in the NFL, and now he gets to go out there. And mind you, remember, he was an older player coming into the league. Like, he was already 25 when he was drafted, something
Penix,
like that.
yeah, it was 24, 25.
Yeah, 24, 25. So you're talking about somebody who is a man, at this point, and knows how to read a playbook and knows how to study. And so I'm looking forward to see what he's able to do with this team, with guys like Drake London, some other folks. Like, this could be a really, really good squad for them. So, and I think this is the only team that really can kind of compete with Tampa Bay up top. So, I mean, if Tampa Bay doesn't win, then I think it would be the Falcons that walked away with this division.
I mean, the Saints, they're going into year one of the Kellen Moore era. I mean, I don't even know who they're going to have at quarterback. I mean, if it's going to be Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck.
Either way, it's a winner, right?
Jake Hayner, the former Fresno State kid. I don't know if they even have Spencer Rattler anymore, honestly, but pray to God they don't, because they need someone competent at quarterback, and maybe it is Tyler Shuck, former Oregon Duck, who transferred to Texas Tech and finished out his career there. But honestly, what I would like to see in this division, I would like to just see the Panthers be a little bit better and a little bit more competitive. I thought that they made a little bit of a jump from being complete rollover easy W's to being a little bit more of a competitive team last year. I don't know. I would like to see something finally click for Bryce Young in this roster. They got a new wide receiver in the draft, Tetairoa McMillan, who some people are saying is the next Mike Evans. Those
are big shoes to fill, but okay.
Yeah. And is their defense going to be better? I would just like to see the Panthers make things a little bit interesting, because if how many more years? I mean, you're going to go into year 3 of Bryce Young. He just got benched last year at one point. How much longer are you going to roll on that train for until you start thinking about the future there? I mean, would it take a 7-win season for them to be like, you know what, let's keep this going? Would it take 6? Like, if they go 6-11, like, are they going to be happy about that? That will be an interesting scenario to look at in Carolina, to see how that plays out as far as their on-field performance, the context behind it. Is it a defensive problem? Is it offense? Is Bryce Young just not the guy? Not it. That will be an intriguing aspect of this division and that team in particular.
And if you're Carolina, you have to think about, if Bryce Young isn't the guy, is Andy Dalton? Is that the direction you want to go? Is
at least
Jack
for the rest,
Plummer?
At least for the rest of the season, that's what you'd have to do.
And yes, Tyler Shuck is projected, as far as ESPN's depth chart, is projected to be the starter in Carolina, in New Orleans this year. But yeah, if you're Carolina, all you can do is just go out there and play. Nobody expects anything of you, so you're really playing with house money at this point. So try to make something happen. Look, you really kind of bolstered that receiving core. What's my country boy's name? I can never say his last name right. Xavier
Legette.
Legette, yeah. Man, I love him. I love listening to his interviews. I don't know what the hell he's saying, but it don't matter. I'm listening, and I feel motivated with that. And so you add in McMillan with him, all of a sudden it looks like Bryce Young has some targets. Does he have protection, though? And I think that's the biggest part. Like, do you have somebody that's going to be able to make sure you can stay off your back and be able to throw the ball? So
that'll be great, man.
Hey, man, I love that kid. He's somebody who just loves to play football, you can tell. So they've got some guys on their team that could be a big thing. We just have to see how patient they're going to be, like you were saying, Joe, about Bryce Young. And this has to be a year that they get seven wins. I think honestly, what they win last year, like 4, 3?
The Panthers?
Yeah.
I think they were around that range because they had to give up their pick to the Chicago Bears. So I think they finished around that 5-12, 4-13 mark from last season.
So if you win 7 games this year,
5-12.
You win 7 games this year. I think that puts you in good shape to be able to kind of keep building this young roster, because Bryce Young is still very young. This is what, year 4? For him?
This is year 3.
Year 3. So he's still very young. I think too young to punt on his career.
Well, and my God, I'm looking at it. Carolina's defense, give him some help, because they were the only team to give up more than 500 points last season. They gave up 534 across the.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's it's too much.
And when you don't have
Next
a
closest
line to block for you, like you're not going to score any points.
The
So
next closest
what are we doing?
was my Dallas Cowboys, who gave up 468 points. So, and then the Titans at 460. But yeah, I mean, divisional odds: Buccaneers, they have the best. Falcons second, Panthers third, and then the Saints a distant fourth there.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap things up here for our first Sports Saturday right here on the Fan Sports Network.
Worry.
That's right. Get with it or get lost.
Guess who's back?
But don't get lost because
please stay.
We'll take any ratings that we can get. Yeah, someone says being the lead in to Ducks football is going to be fun, guys. Look forward to hearing you.
Thank you so much. Man. It should be fun.
Getting here during college football season and cracking the mics as the 9 a.m. games are getting started, that's going to be fun.
It is.
I love college football Saturdays, and from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., there being wall-to-wall action all across the country. Can't get enough of it. It's one of my favorite times of year, just waking up at 8, 8:30. Now will be different.
No,
going
you're right.
forward, but just rolling out of bed and getting some breakfast made, or just sitting there and watching the whole game day, and then the games start at 9 a.m. I'm like, dude, let's do this.
That's awesome. This is where living on the West Coast is great, right? Because usually if you live Midwest, wherever, like those games start at noon. For everybody for the most part. But here, we wake up at 9 a.m., turn to ABC, turn to CBS, whatever the case is, and boom, there's football for us to enjoy. I'm one of those weirdos that really, I'll start watching.
Imagine having to wait until noon.
That's crazy.
Ugh.
That's crazy. I couldn't do it. I'm glad shout out to the West Coast. We get everything kind of earlier,
Eggs, breakfast, and go whoop ass.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's how you do it. And the great thing about football on Saturday is, again, like you said, Joe, it's all day. And then if you do want to do something later on, like you're able to do that, and then you wake up and it's Sunday, and there's more football to watch. And
imagine having to wait till 1 o'clock for football on Sunday.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is when football starts. I feel like it's un-American for football to start at just 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think every game should start at 10 a.m.
Well, and then some of those Sundays when you get that Europe game and it's on at 6:30 a.m. here, so you just wake up and turn on that TV and boom.
Well, and what's funny is I'm sure there are people on the East Coast that are watching that game and it turns on at 9:30 and they're like, wouldn't this be nice if football started this early? And they're like, yeah, it's called moving to the West Coast.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic.
I mean, can
Best
you imagine?
Coast.
Seriously, if you live in New York and you happen to be a Blazer fan or a Laker fan, and those games don't start until 7:30. You mean to tell me 10:30? I got to stay up till 10:30 to watch a basketball? No, I'm good. So
I have always wanted, though, and this was more so when it was Pac-12 and Pac-12 After Dark, being over in New York or something and going out late at night and coming home and there's still a football game on at
that would be
1
cool.
in the morning.
You're wasted, come home, you got some vittles in front of you, and oh man, this
my God, Oregon State
still
is
playing.
Oh God.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. If you're a diehard fan, yes, having football that late is awesome.
Well, we got only 4 more Saturdays left until college football season.
Can't wait, Bart Scott.
5 more Saturdays until NFL season. I just get here. Just get here.
Yeah,
baby.
we're ready. It's been long enough.
Swing. Yes, very swing on that. She's a babe.
If she were a president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln.
Good call.
She was a body part. I can't say. I don't think I can say that one on air.
Probably not. Not on a Saturday.
Jeff Frost, thank you so much for coming in today.
Absolutely.
And rolling with
you,
us
bro.
on this first Sports Saturday. Rashad, thank you as always.
My man.
And thanks to all the listeners out there rolling with us on Sundays. You can now roll with us on Saturdays. And we will catch you next Saturday right here for Sports Saturday at 9 a.m. on the Fan Sports Network. Peace.
Hey, it's Suk, and everyone's always asking me